Started right now. Okay, Shalom Israel. Hope everybody is doing Tawab today. Good to be back. We missed last week's Sabbath class, but we're back on today and for the foreseeable future. We're gonna shout out to Sword of Truth family, Cabo Cab in Guatemala. The brothers he's responsible for, California and through Atlanta, Georgia. Shalom. Hope you're all doing well today. I'm Yatazai in UK. Shalom, sir. And I'm also Stream of Wisdom brothers and sisters. Shalom to y'all in Houston, Kwatazap, Kazaki in Virginia, and Zion in Rochester, New York. Hope y'all are doing well. The Sabbath is, not the Sabbath, but the Passover is approaching us. March 31st. It's going to be a good time to spend time with brothers and family and hang out with y'all and bond with y'all. So we're awaiting that day. It's going to be a good day. And hopefully a good weekend, I should say. Yeah. And, without further ado, we're going to send our prayers up and get started in class. Amaja, Wapanya, Yerusha Shalom.
Stand and face Jerusalem.
Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Ha-ha-ra. Nathal-no. Awar. Zayawam. The water.
Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the light this day. Thanks, so be it.
Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Ha-ha-ra. Nathal-no. Rayak. Nayakacha. The water.
Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us sweet savor. Thank you, so be it.
Amajim, Wapanya, Yerusha Shalom.
Stand and face Jerusalem.
Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Ha-ha-ra. Nathal-no. Ha-shabbat. Ba-shalom. The water. Aman.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the Sabbath in peace. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121. Anasha, Ayanyamya, Hohoya, Ma'aya, Yabu'a, Isaiah, Yabu'a, Ma, Yahweh, Sha'isha, Shemaiah, Wa'aratiza, La'a, Yonathan, Ramawat, Regalia, Yala'ab, Nawam, Sheshamoya, Hana, Yala'ab, Nawam, Wala'ab, Yishan, Sheshamamot, Yashua, Yahweh, Shemoya, Yahweh, Tizadiah, Ayel, Yanyamya, Yad, Hashemash, Yala'ab, Hakaya, Bayawam, Wala'ab, Halabana, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashmoya, Makol, Right, Yashmor, Napasha, Yahweh, Yashmor, Hawalakia, Wabu'aya, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai,
Aman. Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yashala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, and even forevermore. Aman.
Israelite Credo. Shema Yahshua, Yahweh, Eloheinu, Yahweh, Echad. I'm sorry. Shema Yahshua, Yahweh, Eloheinu, Yahweh, Echad. Shema Yahshua, Yahweh, Eloheinu, Yahweh, Echad.
Israelite Credo, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord.
Okay. Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodesh, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Netanyahu, Lachom, Ko, Yawam, Wasalachanaw, Chawathinaw, Kasalachanaw, Chawathinaw, Wala'ah, Fabianaw, Badasawat, Abo, Hawashanaw, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahataparah,
Amen. Lord's Prayer in English. Matthew chapter 6 verse 9. After this manner therefore pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Amen. 10 Commandments. La'ayahayim, Laka, Alahayim, Achayim, Ayah, Panya.
Thou shalt know other powers before me.
Number 2. La'ah, Ta'ina, Laka, Fasal, Wala'ah, Ta'ibatam.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, nor serve them.
Number 3. La'ah, Falachwacha, Sham, Yahweh, Bashawa.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy power in vain.
Number 4. Zakar, Hayawam, Hashabat, Lakodashwa.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Number 5. Kabad, Abaka, Ya'amaka.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Number 6. La'ah, Tharatazah.
Thou shalt not kill, murder.
Number 7. La'ah, Tana'ah.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Number 8. La'ah, Tagana.
Thou shalt not steal.
Number 9. La'ah, Ta'ina. Shakur.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Number 10. La'ah, Tachamat. Ko. Asherah. La'raika.
Thou shalt not covet anything which is thy neighbor's.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshai. Ahawa. Nothing.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the law.
Israel Yeshabiim.
Everybody seated?
Okay. The title of the class, or the Sabbath class today, is the finalizing of the temple restoration. I like to go over like brief recaps before we go into the meat and potatoes of the class. Just a reminder, King Cyrus was made king of the entire territory of the Persian Mede Empire in 538 BC. As soon as he was given that decree, he initiated the Israelites to come back to their homeland from all the 127 provinces that the Persian Empire had control over. Okay, once that happens, Zerubbabel, Jeshua, the high priest, and 50,000 or so Israelites, men, made that trip. Now there was women involved also, and women and children, but 50,000 men made that trek down to Israel, to Jerusalem, to be specific, to start rebuilding the city and the temple, and to reclaim all of their provinces that they had in Judah and Benjamin territory. Okay, now once that happened, there was a lot of blowback between the Samaritan people that were non-Israelites, that had reclaimed a lot of the northern kingdom territory. There was a lot of blowback from the people in the region concerning the Jews returning back to their land. And what ended up happening is, if I'm not, well, I know for sure, Cyrus ended up dying in 530 BC. But the crazy thing is, after the first 2 years of construction, all they were able to accomplish was the foundation of the temple. And there was a lot of political monkey wrenches thrown from the people that was in control of Syria, which was the present day name for the Levant area. A lot of the war, not the warlords, but the provincial leaders were bribed by the Samaritan leadership to slow down construction work on the temple. So for the remaining 6 years that we were back in our land, construction wasn't a thing. And then, after King Cyrus died, his son Cambyses II came into power, and the Samaritan leadership wrote letters to Cambyses, letting him know that the Jews had a history of rebellion, and if he financed the building of this temple, they would be rebellious to the king, like they've been rebellious over the previous centuries to other foreign powers.
They've been tyrannical over others, but did not wish to be ruled themselves.
Exactly. So Cambyses did a check on the records and realized, yes, everything these guys said was true. So we're going to shut down construction permanently on the temple until given further notice. Now, Cambyses was in power for 7 years. So you had Cambyses in power for 7 years. Then you had 6 years of non-construction during King Cyrus's reign. That's 13 years of not getting anything accomplished. Then what we've read in chapters leading up to this point was that construction didn't get started into the second year of King Darius, which was the third legitimate king of the Persian Mede Empire. So in total, that's a total of 15 years of no construction, no building, just the altar and a slab that was established in the temple area of Jerusalem. The walls weren't halfway close to being complete. They weren't touched. The walls weren't touched. Nothing was done. The city was wide open for foreign invaders to take over. So after this 15 years of the Most High not opening up the door, what we're going to go into today is the process of the Most High taking off the pressure and opening the door for the Jews to get blessed. Okay, now the first chapter we're going to go into, we'll go to Josephus first, because we have to set the tone on the timeline before we go back in the scriptures. Timeline is everything at this point. I just explained that the second year of King Darius was when the construction started happening. But we're going to start our focus in class today on the first year of King Darius. Because during the first year of King Darius is when all the wheels of motion starts to occur. And the tide starts to turn for our people to get in position to rebuild. Okay? So, first year of King Darius' reign is what we're going to start off on. And to be specific, that was around 510 BC. No. That's not true. Not true. Let's continue. It's 522. 522 was the first year of King Darius' reign. I was looking at it from an 80 type of situation. The numbers go down. So it's 522 BC is when King Darius starts to get in power. So, with that being said, let's go. Antiquities of the Jews. Antiquities of the Jews. Book 11. Chapter 3. Paragraph 1. And the beginning portion of paragraph 2. All right, let's get started.
Karaya, Shah Shabbatah, Bana Shah, Bana Shala.
Karaya, Shah Shabbatah, Bana Shah, Bana Shala. I mention. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbatah.
Shabbatah. So, Antiquities of the Jews, Book 11, Chapter 3, Paragraph 1, and the first portion of Paragraph 2.
Con.
522 BC is where we're at.
Con.
Okay.
Antiquity of the Jews, Book 11, Chapter 3, and Paragraph 1. After the slaughter of Magi, who upon...
No, can you read the beginning part on top of that?
Oh, con. No. It says, how after the death of Cambyses and the slaughter of the Magi, but under the reign of Darius, Zerubbabel was superior to the rest in the solution of problems, and thereby obtained this favor of the king, that the temple should be built.
Okay, let's get Paragraph 1.
Paragraph 1. After the slaughter of the Magi.
First of all, it's Magi.
Magi.
And the Magi are the magicians, the advisors to the king. What happened after Cambyses II died, there was a power vacuum that had emerged in the Persian Empire. And there were certain individuals of the Persian Empire that fought and vied for power. And a particular Magi had the reign for like a couple months. Okay? But once this insurrection, or once this guy that claimed that there was a guy, I don't know if he was a bastard son, an illegitimate son, but he claimed to have ancestral roots to King Cyrus. Came in and tried to take the empire over. He was wiped out. And they all came to a vote about who the next king was going to be. It ended up being Darius. But what happened is after Cambyses died, there was a fight for who was going to sit back here and take the rulership over in the Persian and Mede Empire. So there was a particular Magi or individual that felt he had claim to the throne, took the throne, and there was a fight for power and control in the region, like it is in most kingdoms at this time. Like there is in America now. Nikki Haley really thinks she's going to defeat Trump. There's always people that want to sit back here and take that number one spot. That's always going to happen, just like it did now. So let's continue. After the slaughter of the Magi, read on.
Khan, who upon the death of Cambyses attained the government of the Persians for a year.
It was less than that, but let's continue.
Those families, who were called the 7 families of the Persians, appointed Darius.
So there was a tribunal of 7 families, or a group of 7 families, that would determine who was going to sit back here and take the rulership. Because obviously, Cambyses didn't have his line anymore. So it wasn't necessarily the line of Cambyses / Cyrus that ran the kingdom. They would sit back here out of these 7 provinces, these 7 leaders. They made a decision who was the next man up to take the throne. Okay? So all these kings wasn't just a succession of Cyrus on down. They were just ruling families and royal families that came together to choose what was the next ruling man to advance the kingdom to where they need to go. So read on.
It says, those families who were called the 7 families of the Persians appointed Darius, the son of Hystaspes, to be their king.
Darius the first. This is Darius the first. You're going to read about Darius the second. Well, we might not read about Darius the second, but you definitely will read about Darius the third. Darius the third was the king that fell under Alexander the Great. But this is Darius the first, and we're going to read about Darius the first today. Read on.
Now he, while he was a private man, had made a vow to the Most High that if he came to be a king, he would send all the vessels of the Most High that were in Babylon to the temple at Jerusalem.
Now, what's he doing talking to the Most High?
Well, which is no different than having, listen, you're asking a question that's going to open the door to some things, but this is another reminder that this is the age of the nations starting to have a consciousness of the Heavenly Father. That's what this is showing. No different than Cyrus was prophesied in the scriptures to sit back here and look after the Jews. How else were the Jews going to obtain favor from here on out, not having any power on earth, but by the nations being inspired to please the Heavenly Father. We want to sit back here and harp on how the nations are wicked. I get it. I get it. But you got to understand, how is the Most High on any level going to show us any favor unless the nations had some type of respect for the Heavenly Father?
And that started with how the Most High dealt with Nebuchadnezzar, turning him into a sloth animal.
Yeah.
To that bear man.
Yeah. That's Zoo Man out there.
Yeah, zoo man.
It's Cino Man. It's Cino Man out there. For those of y'all remember that damn movie, it's a Cino Man out there.
It's a stupid movie. Yeah.
But that was him once he had lost honor towards the Heavenly Father. Because he had honor or respect for the Heavenly Father in the first place.
Yeah.
He would have gave us our space. All we had to do was bow, bend the knee, and kiss the ring. And Jake don't want to do that shit. Jake don't want to do it at the job now. Jake does not want to kiss the knee, bow the knee, and kiss the ring.
They want some.
The Jews don't want to do that.
I'm self-made.
Everybody's self-made.
Yeah.
Everybody's self-made. I'm him. Everybody's him.
I'm Himothy.
Everybody's him. Who wants to sit back here and serve? Service for chumps, man.
Yeah.
That's how we think.
Yeah.
But this is the age where the Most High allows the inspiration of the nations that are somewhat partial to acknowledging the Heavenly Father. Okay? This is the age that we're in. Okay, so this man, and don't forget, he's also saying that he would promise to bring the holy items back to Jerusalem. We have been talking about bringing these holy items to Jerusalem a long time ago. Why hasn't it been done? Because there's nowhere to put the holy items. We're going to have all these holy items on a slab?
And storage. Yeah.
We're going to put the holy items in a slab bag in the storage shack?
I didn't pay the bill, man.
Yeah.
Listen, it's better to have it guarded in the temples in Babylon than to have it on a slab with nothing to put it on, use it for.
Somebody robbed it. Because you know how people.
Well, not our people, not necessarily our people. Our people, yes. But the Samaritans too. Everybody wanted into that.
Yeah.
So Darius had the vision of completing what the former king Cyrus was trying to do, and he prayed. He made a vow to the Most High that would be what he was going to do. Okay, now this was This was before he was made king in 522 BC. Read on.
Line 32. It says, "Now it was so, fell out, that about this time, Zerubbabel, who had been made governor of the Jews."
After 15 years or so of representing the Jews in Jewish affairs, the Persians acknowledged Zerubbabel between this 15-year span that he was going to be the governor of the Jews. He wasn't initially made that. But now he was made that. This is how the Persians ruled their affairs. You got to sit back and look at their empire was vast. Their empire went all the way from Egypt all the way through the Indus River in India. That is a ridiculously large empire. So they had to sit back and rely on governors and provincial leaders to rule their own people and to send reports and to give a proper chain of command to the message. Obviously, you had men over particular jurisdictions, cities, states. Then you had guys over larger spaces of the city. Then you had them over larger regions. You had guys, you had kind of a bureaucracy, even like in the United States. You have district leaders. Then those district leaders have to report. I'm not, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I know they have district leaders. Then you have precincts, legislative body. Then it gets up to your mayor. Then it gets up to your state representatives,
city councilors,
and then you have the guys that represent their state that are in Washington, that advocate on a federal level for the state municipalities.
It's different structure.
This is no different than what the Persians were doing in their 127 territories in order to properly have control over the jurisdictions. Okay, so now where we're at,
Line 32.
yes. So his prayer, and it's one of his hopes, obviously it wasn't just this, was to sit back here and reestablish things for the Jews, for the Most High. Read on.
Now it was so fell out that about this time, Zerubbabel, who had been made governor of the Jews that had been in captivity, came to Darius from Jerusalem. For there had been an old friendship between him and the king.
So what he's also saying is Zerubbabel had known of Darius for many years by now. So whatever time Zerubbabel was made that provincial leader, that governor, he had ties with Darius, whether it was before he was made governor or since he was made governor. However it is, he had a relationship with Darius, and trust was built between Zerubbabel and Darius leading up to the Jews getting taken care of. What you're going to read also is that Xerxes, the king after Darius, had a relationship with Ezra. The Most High sat back here and always, throughout history, put us in positions of serving great leaders of the other nations. And part of the prerequisite of us serving the Most High was learning how to be honorable and serve the powers that the Most High put over us. Didn't the scripture talk about that in Matthew or in the Gospels about obeying those that have rule over you?
Yeah.
I think that was even in Hebrews. Point is, this was one of the edicts the Most High had. Listen, we weren't in a position to be big shots and run anything anymore. So if we were going to advance and really help our people, we needed to learn how to serve the people that were over us, so we can have a greater ability to help our people down the line. So, Zerubbabel, we're reading it consistently. Daniel had a great relationship with who? Daniel had a great relationship with who? Daniel.
Nebuchadnezzar.
He had a great relationship with Nebuchadnezzar and the province leader Darius of the Medes. When he came into power, he understood how to serve the individuals who were in front of him. And all the great men, whether it's Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, now we're having Zerubbabel. The Most High will use these individuals that knew how to serve their leaders. We're going to read about in a few weeks about who else. Mordecai.
So we go back.
Mordecai had a good relationship with Xerxes when he had to be under Xerxes. What you gonna say?
You know how even Joseph was second in command in Egypt.
Khan.
Moses also.
These men knew how to serve the leaders and principalities that they understood the Most High allowed to be in power. So many times we're so short-sighted on this nation and that nation. We got to realize who put these nations in power.
Yeah.
Didn't the scripture say gold is mine, silver is mine? Everything is his. Whoever he puts in power is his. And he controls them. He controls each and every one of these nations' rise and fall. Whether we want to accept that or not, that's the truth. So we have to learn how to be in order and serve the principalities that are over us, just like these great men in Christ did themselves. So Zerubbabel obviously had a better relationship with Darius, and that actually works out in his favor down the line. He didn't know it, but it did. Let's continue.
It says, for there had been an old friendship between him and the king. He was also, with two others, thought worthy to be guard of the king's body.
So it was to the point where he was a provincial leader, but he was also given the responsibility and duty when they congregated with each other. Because what we're going to read is once Darius was coronated as king, he had all the province leaders and governors meet at a certain location for a party, for a festival, for a coronation ceremony. But Zerubbabel and 2 other men were given the honor of guarding him. Now think about this. It just hit me now. They said it was the honor, right, of guarding the king's body.
Come.
Do you think out of the other 127 provincial leaders, that's an honor or spit in the face? Why are you a governor of a territory and you're bodyguard? If I'm a governor of a territory, isn't that a prestigious position?
They put me dignified.
You can't put other people on bodyguard detail? I'm Kevin Costner now, right?
Yeah.
I'm the bodyguard act. I'm running around here having to watch this dude act.
You got 2 jobs.
I gotta run my nation. I gotta run my city and watch you take a leak over here act.
In the bathroom.
I gotta hear you take a poop over here act and guard the pooper act. What the hell is this?
Guard the bedchamber.
I gotta go in there and make sure cut all the lights, cut the candles on, make sure everybody under the bed. I gotta hear you be a beast in the damn bedroom. I'm sitting there on the outside like this. Nobody sees the king now. What's going on here, right? I thought I was the leader of a province.
I gotta sip the wine first just in case it's poison.
Yeah. You're the poison taster, right?
Yeah.
You're taking all the risks. I thought you was a leader, the head of a state. You think the heads of Babylon and Egypt were doing this, right? No. I'm painting a picture. Was it an honor? Yes. It's only an honor if you accept that you're a servant. It's a spit in the face if you think you're more than that. How many times does the Most High give us honor? Well, we think it's a spit in the face. A lot.
Most times.
Most High is showing us how he thinks versus how we think is completely ass backwards. Because he had poop detail, and I got to drill. Listen, it tells you later on that Darius was drunk as hell. So who was sitting back here tasting sipping all these drinks, man? Who couldn't have fun at this gathering? Zerubbabel, he couldn't have no damn fun. Whatever it was, he wasn't having fun. He couldn't get laxed. He wasn't smiling. All these Persians are smiling. Oh, congratulations, there he is. I'm like this. I'm in the Mom Shabbat all damn night. What the hell's going on? I'm in the mountain bar. I got to keep my knees bent. Got to stay serious. Well, everybody's having fun. Everybody in the room has the same rank I got. But my job is to observe and report, listen, I'm security guard. I'm a security guard, if I want to look at it from a prideful perspective.
You know, one thing I like about Mr. T, he said in the interview.
Wow, we're going to bring Mr. T into
he kept it real.
Because he said he pitied the fool. He said he pitied,
wow.
He said he pitied the fool. One thing I like about Mr. T is that he said...
that was the answer, or you had some more to it?
He said on Johnny Carson, he said, listen, man, he said, what were you doing before you got in the movie business and all that? Okay. You know, before he played the Rocky part, he played a great part.
Hell yeah.
But he was a bodyguard. That's what his job was. He said, man, I take my job serious. He said, I'm going to take the knife. If somebody going to get stabbed, it's going to be me. If somebody going to get shot, it's going to be me. He said, that's how serious he took his position. You know what I'm saying? So some people may take that as a slap in the face, but for those that, you know, that understand their job, their duties, man, they take that as this is an honor.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To be in this position to guard. He said my clients, they pay big money because they know I don't play when it comes to my job. You know, you want that kind of person that loves their job to be a bodyguard.
That's true.
You want that kind of person. You know, if anything goes down, this guy gonna take the knife. He's gonna take the bullets.
Yeah.
You know, you don't find men that take their job that serious.
But see, I guess the picture I'm painting, because everything you said is correct. The picture I'm painting is the psychological dynamic that the Most High puts us as Israelites in.
Yep.
You're a leader, but you also shining shoes, nigga. Can you do both? Can you get your shine box out? Oh yeah, you're the leader of this province, but get your shine box out. You ain't nothing.
You're a boss, right?
Yeah.
So that dynamic of being a leader and a shoe shiner, a lot of men can't handle that. You're doing both. These other nations didn't have to deal with that. Their nations were treated with respect as royalty. We was the Shushan, we was the Kunas, we was Kun. You had the Kun, and you were a leader. And I say that because that's the dynamic that a lot of our men as leaders don't want to accept. We want to be the king of our household. We don't want to serve nothing. We're the king. We're the king. We're the king. We're the princes. We're the kings. We're the princes. We're the lords of the earth. Everybody talks that jazz. We got next. True. I gotta say this on the shirt. But you know, until then, get your shine box out. How about that, Doc? Until you have next, shine these shoes and serve.
Well, we had authority before. We showed that we could.
Well, we can't. That's why we get your shine box out.
Extra responsibility.
Listen, that's what got that guy in what was that movie? A Goodfellas killed. He said, "Man, go get your shine box." He's like, "Mother, keep him here. Keep him here. I'm gonna get this dude. Keep him here." I don't know if you ever saw that movie, Goodfellas. It was great, To be told to get your shine box out, those was fighting words, Now I gotta kill you, But why am I even dragging this point out? It's a reminder to all of us, with all this wisdom, all this knowledge, all this responsibility, all these accolades that can come from our ability to break a verse down, can you serve? Can you accept that you are a leader and a servant? And can you accept that spiritual dynamic that he has you in, where you can demand respect, demand order, but at the same time learn how to switch modes and serve and operate in the spirit of obedience within a drop of a dime.
Yep.
And if you can't do that, you're really not worthy to hold the position that we're supposed to hold as Israelites. Because Israelites, we can lead our own people, but if you can't serve, you really can't lead.
Luke chapter 22, verse 27.
I think we're going to the same place.
Yeah.
Luke 22 and 27.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Luke chapter 22 and verse 27. Okay. It says, "For whether is greater."
Christ asked the question, which one is greater? Which one is in the highest position? Go ahead.
He that sitteth at meat,
The one sitting at the table, waiting on the food to be served to him? Go ahead.
or he that serveth?
Or the one that's serving, the server, the waiter, the butler? Which one is greater? The one sitting down or the one standing up? Read on.
Is not he that sitteth at meat?
The one that's getting waited upon, that's the greater one. But go ahead.
But I am among you.
But Christ said that's not the position he came to demonstrate for us to follow. He said, I'm amongst you as what?
As he that serveth.
He said, I came in the capacity of a servant.
So can I say this? So what he's teaching is, what Christ is teaching in his physical actions towards us should give us clarity as to why our life dynamic is the way it is. Our life dynamic is what? It's constant reminders that you gotta what? Serve. That's what life keeps teaching us. It's not a person, not a man. Life keeps reminding us all that we gotta serve. So when life is constantly punching us in the mouth and we're trying to achieve this and take this and do this and be this king and be this leader and be this exalted guy, and life keeps chopping us down, you read these verses and you're reminded, oh man, I'm supposed to serve. This is why I keep getting chopped down. And I keep getting chopped down to size. Because as much as I'm trying to be exalted and be on this level, what good is that pursuit if you lose track of the fact that you're supposed to be a servant while I'm trying to achieve whatever I'm trying to achieve in Christ? You can't do the achieving without the serving.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
No, that was it.
God.
Couple some truth.
Yeah.
John 13 and verse 6. I thought I was going there. I was going there. I was going somewhere else.
Right, John 13,
Verse 6.
verse 6. John chapter 13 and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Then cometh he to Simon, Peter, and Peter saith unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet?
He said, what are you doing? You're the master. Why are you washing my feet? Read.
Verse 7. Yahushua answered and said unto him, What I do thou knowest not now.
You might not understand why I'm holding this posture. I'm washing your feet. Normally, as men, we think I'm supposed to come in entry level. I'm supposed to serve a certain point. Then I get into leadership level.
And it stops.
And then that's where it's at. And men forget, or conveniently forget, that once you're in a position of authority or power or leadership, that you are still this servant. That's still your identity. We want to go into the identity of really a king or a lord, to be honest. Right? We have this different identity, but
Want to be an order drop.
but when you see Christ, who's the King of Kings, and he's still in the capacity of a foot washer, it would bother you because I want to be in your position one day. I want to see here. Remember, Christ said he gonna build his church on Peter. So if I'm gonna carry all this responsibility, what am I doing still washing feet? Read.
God, it says, But thou shalt know hereafter. Peter saith unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahushua answered him, If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me.
This is something that you have to understand if you want to follow Christ. If you really want to follow Christ, you got to keep this posture. Read.
God. Simon Peter saith unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head.
Okay,
So that's the case.
I'm a
Wash it all.
I'm gonna buy in there. Either we're gonna resist the position of service, or cool, I'm gonna be all complete service. Right? I'm gonna force my mind to believe this certain premise. Read.
Verse 10. Yahushua saith to him, He that is washed needeth not to save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit, and ye are clean, but not all.
And that was talking about, of course, Judas. But the point we're getting to is we have to buy into the service thing. Now, it might have been extreme to wash my whole body. That was extreme. But with moderation, yes, you're a servant. Yes, you gotta sit here and work with the men. Yes, you gotta sit here and serve the men. Yes, you gotta be here and you're ear to people. Yes, you gotta sit here and be quote unquote a slave to the needs of the people. We can never forget that.
Yep. And like I said, Naga, I pulled a verse in Titus 3:1. I'm gonna read this real quick. Titus 3:1. Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work. The reality is, this is what the Most High was expecting of Zerubbabel. He had to obey these magistrates. Do you think he came up there with the mindset that he was going to be sitting back here and being a security guard at? He was a governor at this point. Why are governors security guards? Don't you think there's enough armed security that he already had? I'm just painting a picture how that could mess with a person's mind. That's all. Let's go back now to Antiquity of the Jews. I'm going to say how it can mess with a carnal man's mind. Antiquity of the Jews, book 11, chapter 3. Did we finish paragraph 1, sir? No, just read it. He said he was also with two others. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It says, he was also with two others, thought worthy to be guard of the king's body.
So once again, it's just showing you a different time and an era also, where added responsibility was an honor. Even though you were a governor, to sit back here and look after the king was a double honor. But that's not how we look at that now. Read on.
And obtained that honor which he hoped for.
Mm-hmm.
Paragraph 2. Now, in the first year of the king's reign.
So he says, in the first year of the king's reign. Okay. Read on. So that's once again, we read earlier, or we talked about earlier, that the second year was when the construction starts. We're in the first year. Okay, so this is listen. He is a. Let me slow this up. He was a king. He was the guard of the king before this gathering. Okay, he was a king. He was the bodyguard of the king and a governor of the Jews. I guess it really wasn't nothing going on in the Jew land, but he was a guard before they had this coronation ceremony we're going to read about in First Ezra. So, in the first year of the king's reign, read on.
Darius feasted those that were about him, and those born in his house, with the rulers of the Medes and princes of the Persians, and the toparchs of India and Ethiopia, and the generals of the armies of his 127 provinces. But when they had eaten and drunken to satiety and abundantly, they, every one, departed to go to bed at their own houses.
Stop. We're going to hold that and go now to Josephus now. I'm sorry, in the Bible. Let me slow down. We just finished the Josephus. We'll get back to that later. Let's go to the Apocrypha. First Ezra, chapter 3, verse 1, all the way to chapter 4, verse 41.
First Ezra, chapter 3, verse 1. Now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects, and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia.
So what we do know from at this point, this was the first year of Darius' reign.
Yeah.
Read on.
Verse 2. And to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces.
So listen, he still invited all the governors from the 127 provinces. Zerubbabel, though, was given the honor of serving, being that governor. He was going to sit back and be the bodyguard too. Read on.
Verse 3. And when they had eaten and drunken, and being satisfied, were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awaked. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another, let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory, as to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles
Sleep
of gold.
on gold,
Yeah.
I mean, and the drink on
best-
gold.
that's the best
I mean,
thing.
you're drinking on some gold cups, and you got to drink it like this. If you're drinking on gold, you got to hold the cup like this.
You gotta spin the
You gonna spin it. You gonna get the aroma of the drink out. Then you gonna drink like this. If it's gold,
Pinkies up.
yeah, like this, yeah, like this. Oh yeah, like this. Exactly.
Like gold baby fucking or something?
Yeah, hell yeah, it's gold frames, man.
Gold frames.
Gold frames.
That's that 10,000 count linen. You know what I'm saying? That Egyptian cotton that's made out of gold thread.
Yeah, this is Pima.
The thread count.
This is high end Pima.
Yeah, the 10,000 thread count.
This is super Pima.
That ain't no sweating. Like, you ain't sweating in the bed. Ain't no bed sweating going on. Man.
That's awesome, man. It's pure comfort.
Yeah.
Let's keep going now.
And an head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck, and he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. And then everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under King Darius' pillow, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings.
So first of all, for them to even say this, they know that all 3 of those men had great relationships with Darius. You couldn't get that close to him unless you had a great relationship with him.
Yeah.
So it was really an honor. It was an honor to serve at this capacity. And like I was saying earlier, just how our mind frame is, we don't look at those type of jobs as honorable. We look at those type of gigs as beneath us.
Yeah.
But to serve great men is really an honor in the eyes of Heavenly Father. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of our people still go through that mentality even to this day.
Of course.
They look at it and they're like, man, you know who the hell I am? I'm about to serve you. I'm about to do this and that. You know what I'm saying? It's
Brother,
crazy,
exactly. Listen, men do it, and women don't want to serve no man.
Yeah.
But you know what? They don't want to serve a man because we don't want to serve great men either.
Yep.
We want women to serve us, but we don't want to serve great men. Right?
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
Yeah.
Read on.
Verse 9. And said that when the king is risen,
Can I
some.
put one scripture here? Ecclesiastes 8 and 8. Ecclesiasticus 8 and 8.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Despise not the discourse of the wise.
So this is the conversation of a wise man. Read.
But acquaint thyself with their proverbs.
I'm supposed to acquaint myself and ingrain and embed their mindset into my mindset, their principles into my principles, their way of looking at life and approach to my way of looking at life and approach. Right? Read.
That's what serving is. Read on.
For of them thou shalt learn instruction.
Then you're gonna know how to live your life, know how to operate, and know how to make good decisions and good choices. Read.
And how to serve great men with
But you're
ease.
still gonna do what?
Serve.
You're gonna say you can be wise too, but all your wisdom, you're gonna still what?
Serve.
Great men with what?
Ease.
Great men with ease. You're supposed to learn how to be a better servant. Serving great men with ease means it's not a hard thing.
You know what makes it easy? When you adopt their mind frame.
Yep.
Then it makes it easy. You're not anti everything they say and do.
Yeah.
Then it becomes this, not advantageous because it's hard to give that person instruction now, or it's hard to trust that person that they're gonna deliver the same quality of what the job entails,
Okay.
or with the same purpose and the same seriousness. Yes, sir.
So the reason why people say, "Oh, this is too hard, this is too difficult," it's because they haven't fully, established that person's mindset.
Right. They don't agree.
Yeah.
A lot of it comes down to I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
It's hard to serve when you don't agree.
It's very simple. It's that simple. Yeah. Let's keep going. You done with that?
Yep.
Let's go back to First Esdras.
First Ezra chapter 3 and verse 9. And said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest, to him shall the victory be given.
So the king and his 3 top advisors will judge these 3 sentences, and based on it, they'll claim the victor. Then we'll get our shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once again, the intention for these guys, or at least 2 of them, was for them to personally come up, and that was the goal. We're going to see if Zerubbabel was about the personal come up or the body grow up, the body come up. We'll go into that in a little bit. Let's continue.
It says, as was appointed. Verse 10. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. The third wrote, women are the strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory.
All facts.
Verse
They're
10.
all true in their own way.
Yeah.
It's just a greater level of understanding as you escalate the sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, read on.
Verse 13. Now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him. And so he read them. And sending forth, he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and the governors, and the captains, and the lieutenants, and the chief officers.
Listen, he made this bigger than just his 3 advisors. He said, I need all my top dogs for this one, man. We're going to sit back and figure this out.
Yeah.
First of all, in order to do this, your country had to be pretty damn secure out. His country was on lockout. Everything was there was no quarreling and fighting in other provinces out. There was peace. For them to bring all these guys out here for a damn Jeopardy quiz out. That's what this was. People going to Jeopardy. What is this for 500, Alex?
Yeah.
That's what this was.
For all the gold.
Yeah, for all the gold in the kingdom. But you know what? That's cool. We're going to keep reading.
Verse 15. And sat him down in the royal seat of judgment, and the writings were read before them. And he said, call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences. So they were called and came in. And he said unto them, declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Then began the first, who has spoken of the strength of wine. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine! It causes all men to err that drink.
You got to say drink. Because it ain't just wine. No. I'm not saying don't change the scriptures. I'm just saying visualize drink. Because most cats don't indulge in wine that much. But the drink is what makes people go crazy.
The Four Locos.
Crazy, bro.
There's a reason they call it Four Locos.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, loco is crazy in Spanish.
Listen, Four Locos, bottom shelf drink. Just a rock gutter stuff. Bumpy face with a 50-50. Brother MD, all that stuff.
Gin make you sin.
Gin make you sin. But that's what I said bumpy face. That's why I said that bumpy face. You got bumpy face, you got some ripple in your hand, you a problem. I remember bro used to sit back and drink Thunderbolt. I said, man, this is a bad drink. Thunderbolt. Oh no, Thunderbird. It was Thunderbird.
Thunderbird, yeah.
It was that red label. I said, man, there's nothing but sin in that bottle. That is a bad bottle. What you gonna say? OE. Bro, the
Crazy
Horse, the Schlitz malt liquor, the Blue Bull
and the Red Bull.
Both bulls.
Yeah.
Both bulls, the blue one and the red one.
and it was that green. Was it the Green Hornet?
No, that was
Mickey's. Mickey's was bad too. Mickey's bust you up. You in a bad way.
Old Milwaukee.
Yeah,
all of that.
Old Milwaukee is famous.
Yeah,
all of them. All of it's bad news.
Or the one that have you on the toilet, the Bush beer.
Oh yeah,
bro. Listen, Pabst, all of it. Listen, all of it. Listen, that's what I mean. When you think about wine, it's all of this stuff. It ain't just like you're drinking your fine Merlot. Listen, let's get past that. This is stuff that slurs you up. I can break you out.
This is 99 cents.
Oh man, or you're getting all that top shelf and you just can't stop drinking it.
Yep.
You can drink top shelf all damn day long. It'll break you. You get your lips on some Macallan 18 you're done, bro. You can't go back.
It's hard to go back.
You can't go back. After you get some Macallan 18, that's over. You're drinking this rock gut stuff out. It's like drinking water and you drinking some damn. It's like drinking like Avion and you got to drink Dasani the next day. Like, what is this, man? I'll pass.
Yeah.
I'll pass. That is the truth.
Yes, you'd be like, that's all you got is
You will save. You will save up money to sit back and wait to get the good stuff, versus just having a headache the next day.
Who
wants that?
We had a client named Resh. I'm just change his name a little bit. Resh, he was.
It ain't Resh. I know.
He
was too close. You done said the real name. It was that close. It was like one syllable different. Resh. Just say the other part. Anyway, it's all right.
Yeah. So like, while I was doing, we're trying to get this job accomplished. We're in a mansion now. We're moving to a mansion now. I think this guy's he's on the level. This guy's on the level. I'm like, where's Sean? You should have been here, man. Like, someone pops up, and I'm like, man, I ain't say nothing. Like, it took a minute to get here. He said, man, I had to get this guy a liquor store, man. I had to buy his alcohol. I said, wait, we in a mansion. You got to buy his alcohol?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, man.
Because listen, he's the kind of guy, the guy Resh.
Yeah.
He needed alcohol to get going in the morning. Or he wouldn't roll. So, people that have alcohol problems,
true alcoholics,
you need alcohol to get you up in the morning.
They go into withdrawals. Right?
Yeah.
They'll have withdrawals. They'll crap their pants and throw up.
Yeah. And the only thing that gets them back functional is to get drunk again.
You like, can you get me to the store? Can you get me to the store?
Like, damn.
I'm like, I think he got
like HEB, bro. What's that store you talking about?
He gonna get something fly. What's he gonna get? And he was like, the bottom shelf. I'm like, bro, you live in a mansion, bro. Where we at the bottom shelf for?
He getting $7 vodka.
Yeah. You got something on this? I'm like, listen, bro. I'm like,
$7 vodka, bro.
But he was a Persian man. I'm just saying that.
You're giving more clues. Okay, you stop giving clues to this guy. Yeah, let's say his name then. I don't want to give his name up, but he's a Persian man and his name is Resh. Like, come on. You just gave his whole name up. His identity. You gave the identity up in your conversation. ain't trying to bring it in, but he's Persian though. Like, damn, Anyway, let's continue. Oh my goodness, the Jews are awesome.
First Ezra chapter 3 and verse 19. It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one, of the bondman and of the freeman.
He says this wine or this alcoholism makes the king. He says the king and the fatherless child are all the same.
Yeah.
The king that's supposed to be controlled and disciplined becomes unruly like the fatherless child.
Mm-hmm.
Can't control his words, can't control his thoughts like you would expect of a fatherless child.
Which is a bastard.
But see, that's the thing. So now this is also a way to explain scripturally what a fatherless child is, how it's interpreted in the scriptures. Read that part again.
First Ezra chapter 3 and verse 19. It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one.
A fatherless child is supposed to be backwards, insatiable, undisciplined, uncontrolled, disrespectful, out of order. He's telling you, he's comparing a fatherless child with a raging drunk. But then with that being the case, we're supposed to go teach the fatherless child. We're supposed to develop the fatherless child.
That really helps not take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
When understanding that, I guess you don't really have to look at it from this perspective. Comparing these two things, that how loose the mind is,
yes,
how untrained the
yes.
mind is.
Yep.
That's amazing.
But that's what dealing with a fatherless child is. Because the father was supposed to teach that child discipline, self-restraint, humility, order, discipline, how to control his words, control his speech, how to process things the right way.
Public conduct.
But we got to sit back and do all of that process when we get new students that come into this knowledge.
Yep. And when you read King James's book, the Basilicon Duran, which means the king's gift, that whole book was a book to educate his son Prince Henry on how to be a king, meaning how to dress, how to carry yourself, how to choose a wife, how to choose your friends, how to make sure your speech is appropriate in the midst of your subjects, not to commingle people that play games within your rulership, who to take advice from.
Yeah.
All these things was written in that one book on how a king's supposed to conduct himself, but wine will destroy all those morals and take away all that training, all that discipline and self-control. All that goes out the window with the wine.
Yep. So, and he's telling us, and that's why they call it spirits carnaria. That's exactly what it is. So when this individual is talking about the power of wine, he's talking about, hey, the king loses his discipline, loses order, like a fatherless child is expected to do. Everybody gets brought to the same base level, and the power of wine defeats us all. Read on.
Degrading, man.
Yes.
It says, of the bondman and of the freeman, of the poor man and of the rich.
Listen, you get a poor man, a rich man drink the same level of drink for a certain period of time, they're going to start fading out. They're going to start slurring, making mistakes, and getting sloppy.
And this is why if you take the time to talk to homeless people, a lot of these people were not uneducated people.
Yeah.
A lot of these homeless people were people of notoriety that fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, it can hit anybody.
Yep.
I talked to a dude one time, bro, in downtown Riverton, man. I'm not going to go into the names out.
Don't go into names and nationalities and tribes, cities they're from.
Address.
Yeah.
Good brother, man. He said he has his own business. He had his own business, everything going, but he went through divorce, and the brother just started drinking it. Brother ended up
Throwing it all away, probably.
It got wintertime. He was cool in the springtime, but when it got wintertime, bro, he lost it up top, bro. His mind went from, you could see his mind dilapidated. He went from normal, sharp and drunk, to he lost it.
The will to fight.
Yeah. And a lot of times the alcohol is brought in to suppress external pain
And to comfort.
and to cope with whatever you're dealing with, and then then the alcohol becomes a bigger problem than what you were fighting initially.
Okay. No doubt. No doubt. So let's continue.
Verse 20. It turneth also every thought into jollity. and
Everything,
mirth.
all of a sudden, all the drinking, all of a sudden, nothing. You don't take anything serious anymore. And like what Shamshawan said, it can be taken to take away the pain.
Yeah.
I listen. The alcohol that turns everything into jollity, people use that as to their advantage, so they don't have to stress out about their problem. Rather be laughing and joking and keep things light. That's what a buzz is.
Yeah.
You get a buzz to keep things light, to take the edge off, to take the pressure off. But the scary thing about it is people start to enjoy the decompressing of the thoughts. Then this is when the alcohol kicks in. I need the break. I need the ease. I don't have to sit back here and completely lose my mind. I just need a couple drinks to take the edge off.
Quick
And
fix.
that just happens that can easily happen every day. Then the problem with drinking every day is 1 or 2 glasses of wine ain't enough. 1 or 2 beers ain't enough. You drink 1 or 2 beers every day for a month, guess what you're going to need?
It's like water.
You're going to need 3 or 4 beers of this.
So the body builds a tolerance.
That's the point. And Dos Equis ain't enough. I need some Modelo.
It's watered down.
And then Modelo is a little bit stronger of a buzz. I need something stronger than that. Let me go to dark liquor now.
That's over. That's all over.
And then all of a sudden,
Then you're drinking that damn peppermint schnapps or that Fireball, that cheap Fireball with that little devil on it.
worse.
That-
That's the ruling lives.
They got
worse.
they got those at like little mini shot bottles at the corner store, right? And they like every little gas station got 99-cent mini shot Fireball whiskeys. Huh?
People getting hit.
Bro.
That's-
I hate that.
And you
bro.
find them bottles everywhere, all over the street. Huh?
You do, bro.
All over the street, you find them little bitty, little
Yeah.
small little shots of Fireball. Like,
And,
cheap
and
as hell.
it's, and it's all based upon taking a little edge off the day. Yes, sir?
It's like my brother. It's any amount of stress becomes a trigger
Mm-hmm.
to once
A
it starts
justification
Yeah.
to counterbalance the stress with jollity.
Yeah.
And that's where alcoholism kicks in.
And then it gets so bad, and I hate to see it. We go to New Mexico, but
Uh-huh.
Gad will when they'll resort to drinking Listerine,
Yeah.
mouthwash, and they'll just corrode themselves with whatever they can find, and they'll drink whatever they can find, whatever they can get their hands on. It's that bad. It breaks the whole culture down, whole civilization down. Really sad when you see when the body odor smells like processed, when the liver's trying to break down Listerine. It's a different odor that comes out of the skin. Different mentality out there.
So this is what this individual is talking about, the power of wine and what it could do to a person. Because the wine provides a comfort and ease that men tell themselves that they need. I've talked to brothers and people who have addiction issues. They call it medicine.
Yeah.
And this was on a TV show. This was a whole different situation. But he says, just because it can kill you doesn't mean it's not medicine. Like, what? But this is the thinking. I know I'm a die of liver cancer and disease, but you know what? For now, I need this. But this is where the power of wine is. Okay, but let's keep going.
20. It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth, so that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor death.
That's the point. It's about that comfort. I don't want to remember my mistakes. Really, it's about, sorrow and debt. The debt is from bad decisions. So really, I'm running from bad choices, screw-ups. And I'm drinking and I'm doing this and this because I don't want to think about my screw-ups. I got to lighten my mood. Instead of focusing on making changes and making the right decisions, I'm just going to stew on what I did wrong. How I messed up my marriage. How I should have went to work and I just didn't get to work on time and I got fired. Or people focus on these things and instead of fixing and changing what's inside of yourself that makes you keep repeating these issues, I'm just going to keep drinking to take the edge off.
Because I need a temporary escape. Because this situation in my head, it might be Monday, but my head's still on Sunday.
Yeah.
It might be Thursday, my head's still on Sunday. It might be Friday, my mind's still on Sunday. I can't get this out of my head. And the worst part is, I had a class about it, we suffer in silence. Most men or people in general will suffer in silence. So they'll also medicate in silence too.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have an answer. And the answer might be around us. If we ask
Well, the answer is, there are answers. Scripture says, ask, seek, and knock. Yeah. There are solutions to fight your battle. But the real question is, do I want to work that hard to fix my battle? Or do I want to self-medicate and take the edge off? It's really based on what do you want to do? How hard do you want to work? How serious are you about changing your life? Yeah. Most people will already just get quick fixes, medication, medicate themselves, take the edge off, and be a slave to this wine. Or getting high to take the stress away from my mental condition and my issues that keep causing failure and mistakes that keep riddling my life.
The problem is, in the mind, it's almost impossible. There becomes a spirit of despair because sometimes the battle they're getting so big, whereas this can't be solved. And we don't have another perspective to give us a different way to deal with it. Based off this our way of looking at it, this issue is beyond me. It's too big.
Because we don't choose to be around people that can tell you it can be done. This is the power of being amongst the body. The power of being amongst the body is there's enough people that can do things better than you, that if you vibe and feed off their strength, you can get through your issue. If you desire to change enough. The problem is we don't desire to change. And when it says ask, seek, and knock, there is a brother in Israel, San Antonio, Houston, Rochester, Virginia. There's enough people with enough experience in life to sit back here and learn from and follow. If I'm a sister having an issue with a husband, if I'm a sister having struggles at home serving a husband, there are sisters around you, whether it's in the city, a couple hours away, a phone call away, that if you feed and you follow them, you can overcome your issue. Same thing with men. It can be done, but the power, wine represents what? Why is wine strong? Because it's easier. Wine is strong because wine is easy. It's easier to drink wine and get drunk than to fight. That's why wine is so strong. This is why getting high, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol is strong. Because I'd rather do that than sit back and totally change how I look at life. Totally change how I process stress. Totally change how I process aggravation and mental and spiritual, being mentally and spiritually strained.
That got this too.
Because listen, I understand this when listen, some people are addicted to sex for the same reason. When they're stressed, when they're stressed, when they feel pressure, the first thought is, I need some sex. This will relax me. Different people have different triggers that they need to release stress. When in actuality, if we're really about being spiritual, studying and reading and counsel is a solution to take away the stress. But we haven't crossed that threshold as individuals to learn that. That's the spiritual solution to de-stress. Study and counsel. But you have to do it enough to where it actually works. That's why let me go drink this wine. Let me go smoke. Let me go chase these women. Because to sit back here and study and read until you get eased up, how many people have done that? Don't raise your hand. How many of y'all have sat back here and studied until the lust demon left you?
That's how bad life is. This is how bad life is.
Well,
if life is really, really bad, depending
on how bad life is.
Life is really bad. You got to do like in the book for real. Most like he's putting that spiritual pressure and that life pressure on you until you crack out.
Or until you do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody got.
All I'm trying to say is, let's get back to the wine thing. We're getting deep here, but no, you're fine. It's just, but it's the situation. There are spiritual solutions, but do we actually do it? We don't. Anyway,
You know, a lot of times also in this culture, you know, you've been watching beer commercials since you was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, you watching Marlboro Man and beer commercials and Newports and Cools and Camels.
when I was younger, everybody was at the beach drinking beer. Remember, like in the early '90s, it was always about these. Remember, it was the Swedish bikini team out, and they're all out there running around. They're all drinking beer. Everybody's smiling.
Because that's what the Coors train show up.
People all over the world. Jordan, we on the love train. The love train.
I want to be there. Where are they at? That's the bomb.
Why you at the house? Why you at the house with the fan on?
Oh my God! You gotta drink something.
Gotta go do something right now.
Come on now.
Boop, boop,
Good to see
boop.
you again, bro. It's been a long time.
That means he was watching it in between Soul Train episodes. He was on WCN.
No, you did.
Oh gosh, let's get back in the scriptures, man. Let's get back in the Bible, man. I'm sorry. Golly, but I do remember those commercials, all the way,
But you get that growing up, so automatically it's been programmed to you to think alcohol when you have a problem. Let me go get some relief. Let me go get a quick fix.
Yep.
Let me take the edge off.
Or it's food.
Or it's food, yeah.
That's the other one. Pick your vice. Come on, bro. You right? But let's continue, man.
Verse 21. First Ezra chapter
That video
3.
is in my brain. That's people over there. That's not going anywhere. It's not. It's not stuck in there forever. Oh, man, it was train, it was snow, and it was good music, guy.
Oh, man.
I was like, but let's continue.
First Ezra chapter 3 and verse 21. And it maketh every heart rich, so that a man remembereth neither king nor governor.
So that means a man doesn't remember his pressures and his stressors and his oppressors.
That boss at my job.
Yep.
I don't even want to think about that person.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I don't know. This was when my house was getting built many years ago, like 2003. And I said, man, I would go to the house because I didn't trust how the house was getting built. I would go to the house and I got really angry one day because I went to the back of the house and it was like a 24 pack of beer was smashed out. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon out. I like, how these guys knock out a whole 24 pack, bro? It was midsummer, bro. It was like August out. It's 110 in San Antonio in August, bro. How are you knocking out Budweiser? It wasn't even Bud Light, bro. It was the red joint out.
Yeah, it's 5.5.
You're knocking out Budweiser, and you're putting my house together, bro. Are these damn screws or these nails getting hammered in right, bro? Or is it gonna be some sideways stuff? What's going on? I was very unsure. How are you doing this every day?
But Issachar got that down packed up.
Listen, man, I wasn't going to name the tribe. But I think I did with Dariana. I gave all the clues about the tribe. I was like, how the hell are human beings able to consume this much alcohol during the day? And then guess what? After work, where they going to go? They're going to drink more beer after work. How do you do this?
It's called a tailgate party.
Yeah, I was like, how do you just knock out? I'm just knocking out beer until I'm just going on autopilot. And then I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get my checkup and just have enough for some more beer that day. Just how they do it, how people can cope just through alcoholism every day is
functioning.
Is a tough existence. I still do your job and just be numb because that's what it's to do.
And a lot of times,
drinking numbs you.
A lot of times they don't have any real relief other than the alcohol.
Yeah.
Because they got you got pressure at home, you got bills, you got kids, you got responsibilities. They don't have any other alternatives as answers to deal with life.
God.
It's one of them guilty pleasures.
And this is why they say wine is strongest.
Yep.
Because of you don't think about your stress at the time. You don't think about that tomorrow. Guess what you're gonna be? You're gonna be here at this site tomorrow. at 5 o'clock.
And that son.
Yeah.
And this son, you gonna work until 6. You gonna go home. You gonna lay your head down. You ever like going to work? You come home. You lay your head down. You eat. I don't know. Whatever happens, you drive home, and you get to your house. You eat a meal. You lay down, and you're popping back up. And it's like, well, I'm back in the shit again.
Yep.
And it was like it felt like the sleep was like 30 minutes out. And you pack up, and you got to go back to work again.
Right.
And this guy's like, this house. Once this damn stinking house is done, guess what I got to do tomorrow? Another house.
It's always a house.
It's
Let's urban fix this.
It's more
This will
building.
be another house.
You on the roof? You on the roof? It's 100, 140 on the roof,
Con, bro.
and you
Con.
tarring the roof.
You're tarring the roof. You might fall. You might bust your ass. Things might go wrong. You at a 2-story house. It's scary as hell. You gotta take a roof off, put a new one on. That life, just the grind, can break men. Either you're gonna be in this book, or you're gonna be drinking this alcohol.
Or I had a guy I used to work with. He worked 19 years. He was about to retire at 20 because he had a pension. They fired him, and he became an alcoholic. He became a drunk. Left his household, wife, family.
That was intentional.
Yeah,
That was intentional to run him for 19 years and then cut him off.
yeah.
Broke his
That
soul,
was
right?
literally
Yeah.
intentional.
Broke his will. He broke his will to even take care of his household anymore. Became an alcoholic and just became homeless.
Because he told himself at that point,
Yeah, because how you gonna
I gotta put another 20
how you
in.
gonna start over now? You didn't put 19 years in on a job, and then you with the hopes that this is it. I'm about to retire. Now you got to start over. He couldn't
He was
couldn't
happy
take it.
too. He was happy
Yeah.
before he.
No, bro, he was
He had been
a happy
making
guy, man.
plans based on that 20-year plateau.
Yeah, they let him go at 19 years, so they didn't have to pay him no retirement.
That's really messed up, bro. But this is what's happening, man. And this is why the wine and alcohol is so strong. For individuals who don't rely on serving the Heavenly Father, a lot of times it's some kind of carnal satiation that gets you through it.
Yep, man.
It says also that you like I had fainted. That's something you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. When mind goes faint, if you look at the definition of faint, it also means intimidation.
Yeah.
Your problems become so intimidating.
Yeah.
It seems too intimidating
Yeah.
to even want to deal with.
Yeah.
It's an aspect.
But, the intimidation comes from the fact that I've been running from this issue for 10 years already.
Yeah.
And I have 5 things I have to fix. I have 5 or 6 glitches in my spirit. I ain't gonna fix this.
Well, I don't have enough time to fix it.
Yeah.
That's
But,
scary too.
I've been running this whole time. Now I gotta face it. Now there's no more exits.
Oh, you get that? It's too late for me mentality.
Yeah.
It's too late for me to fix my problem.
So let me just go ahead and drink
Yeah.
and find some kind of pleasure somewhere,
In the middle of this, I still gotta live.
bro. Listen,
Yes, sir.
What's that?
I was gonna say that.
Louder.
I was gonna say I was talking to a brother outside earlier this morning, and the problem was he was smoking everything, and the problem was I was like, hey, man, if you want solutions, bro, you gotta find the healthiest solutions to fix the problem instead of being like, you know what, I'm gonna do it one day. But that's the excuse, though. That's the excuse. Hey, one day I'll do it. One day I'll stop doing it. And I told him, I was like, the importance is, bro, adjustments takes time. We know that. To adapt. But I said the changes, bro, that's right when you want to, right then and there at your disposal. When you want it, right then and there. He was taking it light. I was like, all right, bro, no problem. Bro.
That one day I'll do it one day. That's somebody that's defeated.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough. They don't have enough in them, zeal in them to conquer that at that moment.
But so the brother online is that idolatry. When you sit back here and make the alcohol your comfort, it is idolatry. When that alcohol is what you need to give you peace of mind, that is your alcohol. Because what is religion for people? Religion gives them peace of mind.
Stability.
And stability and clarity. So if it's alcohol that gives me peace, then alcohol is my idol.
No different than music. Some people say music is my savior.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said,
Yeah, music get me through. If it wasn't for Tupac, all eyes on me.
I know where I'll be right now.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
Yeah.
that sounds like a joke.
that's real.
I'm gonna go like that. There's a brother in Miami. I ain't gonna say his name. He was in a camp back in '95. Like, come on, man. He was in a. That's not even a lie. Like '95, '94, and he said, "Yeah, he said, Pac saved my life." I said, what? This guy saved my life. He was real as. And listen, he wasn't the only person that said that. When I was in Florida, when Pac, was I in Florida? Was I in Florida when Pac died? No, I was in Albuquerque when Pac died, and that was in '96. It was in July is when he got shot because I was working the fair. I ended up going to Oklahoma in September of that year, and then I ended up going from Oklahoma to Miami around February. Point is, by the time I was out there in Miami from February till around early June was when I was out there. So it was a year about to pass up, and they had Tupac parades out in Florida, and it was jam packed on the road. There's walking around these murals of Pac. Like people gave their life to that dude. They were living off this man's words.
Even in Albuquerque, they got Tupac at 5 o'clock on the radio.
Is it still? I thought it was Tupac at 4.
No, it's Tupac at 5 o'clock. Yeah, Tupac. They play
Still,
Tupac
right now
at 5 o'clock. Tupac at 5. That's how much they idolize Tupac. That is idolatry.
Yeah.
Like, because you utilize these avenues. These are just alternatives. Alcohol is an alternative. Music is an alternative.
Yep.
Women is an alternative. Yep. Anything could be an idol or an alternative to facing your issues.
If that is what controls you, if that item controls you and moves you, then it's a deity. You've made it a deity.
Or you become dependent upon it to survive, to function.
Because you've given it power. That cigarette is a damn deity.
Yep.
God. Let's continue, man.
Verse 21 says, and it maketh every heart rich, so that a man remembereth neither king nor governor, and it maketh to speak all things by talent.
So listen, that man don't have to remember his thing about his taxes. What do governors care about? Taxes, bills, responsibilities. So more taxes, more bills means more what? Labor. I gotta work harder. I gotta put more hours in. So it says, and it maketh to speak all things by talents. Let's continue.
Verse 22. And when they are in their cups, they forget their love, both to friends and brethren.
Then it goes from you drink to escape the stress, the pressure of bills and responsibility. Then you spiral out of control, and then it was only supposed to take the edge off of your outside job problems. Then you start taking and drinking when you argue with your woman. Then you go home, there's a little spat at home, and where do you go? You go to the bar.
Tell us what God, bro.
Listen, the bars are full of men who just don't want to go home and deal with their problems at home. You sit back and go to bars. Who's at the bars? Listen, once you get past happy hour, because you'll see ladies at the happy hour. After happy hour ends at 5 o'clock.
After Working Women's Wednesday.
After Working Women's Wednesday, and like I said, happy hour. Who's at the bars from like 6 o'clock p.m. on until closing time at 2 on a damn Tuesday? Why at the bar at 2 o'clock at night on a Tuesday? You don't want to go home, man.
There's a reason.
Listen, come on. Why are the neighborhood? How are all these bars able to pay their bills? Those TABC taxes are high as hell. Those liquor taxes are high as heck. How are they able to keep all these rents open all across just Texas? There's a lot of alcohol getting drank. What you gonna say?
Or you're afraid to be alone with your thoughts.
Yeah. Is that or I'm just going on the fact about the family. The family catches the hell after you run from the problems at the job.
Yeah.
Then a man starts running from the problems at home.
Yeah.
Starts running from the children problems, the family problems, the wife problems. It becomes a solution to every problem. This is why it's spiritual. We can't use alcohol or any type of escape to take the edge off of our issues. Yes.
Ecclesiastes 31 and 29. Because it may sound convenient. Alcohol is convenient because you can find it on every corner. Every corner store got it. Every corner store, every liquor store, every gas station. What you see, beer, ice, and lotto.
Yeah.
Beer, ice, cigarettes, and lotto.
The lotto's hope. Yeah, you can get out of your rut.
You trying to scratch your way out the situation.
Listen, you drinking because of your bills and your money problems.
And you trying to
with the lottos that hope that if I win this, I get out of this. I get out of my problems.
Like, it's like let me get a number 12. Let me get a number 15. That's why you hit the gas station. Let me get a pack of these. Let me get 2 packs of these.
Yep.
let me get these two tall boys, and let me get 2 scratch offs, Powerball. Give me all the fixings on it too.
It's scary as hell.
Give me all the extras. Give me all the extras on it.
It's scary as hell when 2 tall boys just relax you a little bit out.
Just a warm up.
You're an alcoholic. You're an alcoholic if 2 tall boys don't knock you in your ass. And that's the truth. And it is when one is a warm up, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
When one's a warm up and you don't feel it till mid-second, you, sir, have a problem.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, for those of y'all who know, you know. You knock out one and you just getting started, and you like this.
Yeah.
You getting loose.
Let's get it started.
Loose.
That's 5. That's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Bro, you gotta have a second boy to finish the day off. Bro,
Yeah.
telling you, man.
Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and verse 29. But wine drunken with excess.
They said, well, wine drunken with what?
Excess.
Right. It's nothing wrong if you can do it in moderation.
Hey,
but
if it's for a good occasion, a fun occasion,
a festival,
every gathering,
every blue moon, every once in a while.
Yeah.
But when you're at the I don't know yet, or you know they got bars with names like that, man.
God.
Hey, where you at? I'm at the I don't know yet.
Or my other wife.
The other bar's called my other wife. All the other bars called the office. Yeah. Well, you're at the bar called the office. Like, where you at, bro? I'm at the office, man. You're not at the office. Oh, the bar's called the library.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're studying. You're studying, brother. Yeah, that's the joke. That's the joke right there. But when you're there, and it's excess because you're using it as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Now it's beyond the purpose of what it was created for, and that's when it becomes abuse. And a lot of our people abuse alcohol. We don't use alcohol; we abuse alcohol because we use it for a purpose of keeping our hopes up. We use it to cope. We use it to deal with the pressure of everyday living. And I don't have. I know we talked about it before. We had that book. It's a book called Civic Biology. That's the title of the book, and it gives you how the increment of alcohol, even at an ounce or two, can start to erode your ability to do simple math and to simple problem solving. It don't take a lot of alcohol to start to erode you and destroy you. It only takes an ounce or two before you're not able to do simple equations in your mind.
It's a teaspoon.
A teaspoon, a tablespoon of alcohol can start to wear out your ability to think properly and to arrange mental equations. But he says wine drinking what?
With excess, making bitterness of the mind.
It makes it what?
Bitterness of the mind.
And this is when you start to see the toxic effects and the side effects of alcohol start to hit the house when your patience goes out the window. You ever notice how somebody's bitter? They're alcoholic. They don't have a lot of patience. They can't tolerate much. They start to resorting to violence. The Cowboys lose the game. Why does your wife have to get beaten up?
Yeah.
Why? Because the Dallas Cowboys lost the game. Why does your children got to get beat up extra hard because the Cowboys lost the game? Because they didn't make it to the playoffs. This happens all the time. It happens all the time. When you can check YouTube, you can see people beat their family up. That's why it says hold that, go back to that verse in 1 Ezra chapter 3 when he's in verse 22.
Verse Ezra chapter 3 verse 22. And when they are in their cups, they forget their love, both to friends and brethren.
And brothers kill brothers over alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Because arguments happen. You beat your wife, men beating their wife up, or women beating their kids up, or like we just happened the other day, manslaughter. Young lady killed somebody on the road. Didn't even remember. She woke up in jail. This happens all the time. She didn't remember what she did. This just happened here in San Antonio just a couple days ago. Blasted somebody on the highway, going super fast. She lived, but the other guy died. And she woke up not knowing what she did. She had no knowledge of what happened. But this is manslaughter. So this woman has been sitting in a joint for a long time. Minimum at least 20. Because you couldn't remember. You didn't remember what you did. You didn't remember where you came from. Super dangerous. But we got to drive on the road with people that use alcohol, abuse alcohol. You got your family on the highway every day. And you got to hope and pray that the Most High don't have somebody that's under this type of influence on the same highway as you. Or go in the opposite direction. Read on.
It says, and a little after draw out sword.
And a little after they draw out what?
Sword.
It shows you that there's a violence associated with alcohol. Alcohol is associated with violence, man.
Yep.
You know, a little 40 ounce here, little dice game, little $2 dice game, $5 dice game, 50-cent dice game.
Yep.
How does it turn violent? It wasn't just the dice. It wasn't the dice. It was all cool until you start mixing in these elements that bring about violence. Yes. And that's why he says wine drunken in excess. Hold that and finish that in Ecclesiastes. He says make it what? Bitterness of the mind.
It says with brawling and quarreling.
It said it brings what? Brawling and quarreling.
And this is why the scripture says, know what's good for their spirit and give that unto it. Yeah. There's certain men that get violent with alcohol. Yeah. Yep. If you're a violent drinker, you shouldn't be drinking. That means the Spirit's telling you, we won't get spiritual. The Spirit's telling you, you can't do this. There's certain people that lick alcohol, and they start throwing hands. Mm-hmm. Slow hands, but they hands still. Yeah. But they still starting stuff.
And you could read the room. You at a house party. Yeah. It's like, man, they about to shoot this thing up. Yeah. How many times that happened?
Yep.
And the house party's cool at 10 o'clock, about 11 o'clock, about 12:30, 1 o'clock. The house party ain't cool no more. The energy changed. Yep. Yeah. You got people they dancing, then they start dancing wild, crazy. Yeah. Then they start doing extra stuff that's beyond just a regular house party.
Listen, then you playing body on the music.
Man,
mirror. All of a sudden, then his guns getting pulled out.
I ain't never scared.
Oh man, it's over. Get out of here. Get out of here.
No, if you buck, yeah. Just that sound alone, that beat alone, will get you crazy,
bro. Listen, when I heard that body, I wasn't from the South, but it was like a mesmerizing spell for Jake in the South. I was like, people are ready to die tonight. I said, people are ready to die right now. I said, man, I was in Oklahoma when I was like, man, these guys, they're ready to throw it all away tonight.
Oh man,
they're gonna throw it all away tonight. I said, I can get out of here. It was trance music to Jake out in the South.
It is a trance.
It was trance music.
You mix that.
The gremlin come out.
Yeah, bro. You mix that with some alcohol out.
Yes,
it's gonna be some shootings. There's gonna be some killings.
And it was a lot of killings. That body. I don't know how many people died off that song. A lot of men died off that song.
The whole graveyard off that song.
And then when you got C Murder, you got rap name C Murder on there.
C Murder Act. Yeah. Anyway, I don't mean to. I know the spirit off.
But it's the truth, because we can resonate to this because we see it amongst our people all the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The violence comes out with the alcohol, with the aid of the alcohol. Yep. Then comes the violence. He said what?
It says, but wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind, with brawling and quarreling. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool.
It says it increased the rage of a fool, and it breaks everybody down, and it makes everybody hostile. Meaning, you can't touch wine without it having some type of negative effect. There's always a side effect to what makes you happy will also make you sad. Yep. What brings you joy will also bring you down and degrade you and destroy you. So there's a side effect to these external temporary satisfactions that we so claim to use every day or abuse on a regular basis. There's always a side effect because you deplete. No different if you're looking at sex too much. You deplete your endorphins. You no different than drugs. You destroy your hormones, your ability to excrete dopamine. Those dopamine receptors and transmitters, you destroy those with drug use.
You wire your brain. Right?
Yeah, you can't even be happy anymore without a drug or a stimulant being possessed. You don't know what happiness is anymore.
Yeah.
There's no joy. There's no natural joy coming from you. It robs you of just natural joy, like the joy you would have as a child. You can't even smile and be happy unless you got a liquor bottle, or you got some dope next to you or something. You can't even function anymore. You become totally dependent upon that element to function. And if you don't have it, you hostile as hell.
Yeah.
You crazy as hell. You irrational. So it just shows you how it destroys you. It's always a side effect.
Kinda. So let's we got a lot more to go, bro. It's time for you to go too. Next man, Nagaha. Sorry, I gotta get that.
Nagaha, Shah Shabbatah, Ban Shemai Wan, Ban Yashala.
Nagaha, Shah Shabbatah, Bashmai One, Baya Charlotte. A bunch of Rook, Yahweh Hashem Yashabakata.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakatham.
All right, so did you finish your verse in Ecclesiasticus?
We're back at 1 Ezra chapter 3, verse 23.
Okay, let's read
Or
that.
verse 20. Yeah, 23.
First Ezra, chapter 3, verse 23. But when they are from the wine, they remember not what they have done.
Because they're blacked out. I've seen a lot of men. I've seen men sit back and drink till they black out, then wake up and find out they beat their woman. That brother,
Yeah.
that happened, and the brother will keep drinking till he blacks out.
Again.
And I don't know why I keep doing it. Anyway,
You got to get that guy home. You start saying, "Hey, bro, get that guy to the house."
But then he'll sit back and he hasn't all the way hit his buzz level, his buzz quotient. So he'll say, "Listen, let's go to the grocery. Let's just go to the corner store first before I go home."
Yeah.
And then it's like, "Oh shit." He'll get him an 18-pack and then it's over. I'm not lying. The brother I'm thinking about would go through an 18-pack, then black out, then get violent. These are real addictions, man.
You know why? Because a lot of times they say that when people crash and they go crazy after they leave the club or the party or bar, they say because alcohol takes about 20 minutes to hit the body.
Yep.
So when it's last call, it's like 2 o'clock, 1:45 is last call.
You
So they start slamming it. Well, that what you slam has not processed through your liver yet. It takes about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So you slammed it trying to reach that last call. And then right when you're on your way home, that's when it starts to kick in.
Yep.
And that's when it starts to process. And then you could barely see the lines on the road.
Yep.
And then that's when people black out and crash.
Yep.
Then you hear it on the news. This guy ran off the bridge, ran off the road, hit a tree. You know, because that to synthesize and process that alcohol, it takes about 30 minutes. And then once it hits the full effect of your bloodstream, your blood alcohol level is through the roof. You're like 8%, 5%.
And most people aren't responsible enough to drink a little bit of alcohol and then drink water behind it. Alcohol and water behind it. That's me being too much, but that's how you're supposed to do it. That's how it's supposed to be consumed.
Yeah.
Drink water, drink
you.
alcohol, drink water, drink a little bit as you go. But you know, that ain't the play away, I guess. But let's continue. Let's read in Ecclesiastes. That ain't fun.
Yeah.
Read on.
Verse 23. But when they are from the wine, they remember not what they have done. O ye men, is not wine the strongest, that enforceth to do thus? And when he had so spoken, he held his peace.
So he says, wine has the power to ruin lives and and manipulate people in all these different ways. And he held his peace and nobody said anything. Let's go to chapter 4, verse 1.
First Ezra chapter 4,
He
verse
wasn't
1.
wrong. He wasn't
wrong. Like I said, all of these answers are progressively truer.
Yeah.
Read on.
Verse 1. Then the second, that has spoken of the strength of the king, began to say, O ye men, do not men excel in strength that bear rule over sea and land and all things in them? But yet the king is more mighty, for he is Lord of all these things, and hath dominion over them, and whatsoever he commandeth them, they do. If he bid them make war, the one against the other, they do it. If he send them out against the enemies, they go and break down mountains, walls, and towers. They slay and are slain, and transgress not the king's commandment. If they get the victory, they bring all to the king, as well as the spoil, as all things else.
God.
Likewise, for those that are no soldiers, and have not to do with wars, but use husbandry, when they have reaped again that which they had sown, they bring it to the king, and compel one another to pay tribute unto the king. And yet he is but one man. If he command to kill, they kill. If he command to spare, they spare. If he command to smite, they smite. If he command to make desolate, they make desolate. If he command to build, they build. If he command to cut down, they cut down. If he command to plant, they plant. So all his people and his armies obey him. Furthermore, he lieth down. He eateth and drinketh and taketh his rest. And these keep watch round about him. Neither may anyone depart and do his own business. Neither disobey they him in anything. O ye men, how should not the king be mightiest, when in such sort he is obeyed? And he held his tongue. Then the third.
And all of it's true. Because lives are ruined by the king's thumbs up or thumbs down, or you go to war or you don't go to war.
Yeah.
Your life is in his hands, so to speak.
There's weapons of mass destruction. Then now you got to all your kids got to go to war on a fake oil plot.
Listen, there's weapons of mass destruction, and then 500,000 Iraqi children have to die because of that statement. 500,000 children have to die because they doubled down on the lie and said there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. So we got to bomb it. And they interviewed Madeleine Albright. They said, was it really worth it? She says, I completely believe it was worth it. To knock out 500,000 children,
For oil grab.
For oil grab, just for control of oil resources. And to sit back and input, because even the crazy thing is, the casualty level wasn't high with us in Iraq. We sat back and put bases in there and had ways to funnel oil back to the United States. But it was about oil grabbing, weakening and breaking Saddam, which also destroyed the entire region. The entire region turned chaotic after taking him out. Anyway, that's another story. Point is the king or the leader of the free world has the power to sit back and ruin lives, advance people, all by his decision making.
Yep. Then by his policy, and then you got people would have to learn how to rebuild their lives with prosthetic limbs, or complete burn victims,
Yep.
or they're shell shocked from running over landmines.
Look at Zelensky. Zelensky is the king and leader of Ukraine. Just because this guy keeps doubling down and following United States orders, he has personally sent out 600 to 700,000 deaths of Ukrainian men. 600,000 deaths? You're almost wiping out a generation of men. Listen, before this is over, a million Ukrainians are going to die.
You're playing chess with real people's lives.
Kinda. And all he's done, for instance, for instance, Avdiivka, which is the last city that's fallen in Ukraine, he was ordering the people in Avdiivka to hold the line because he was in Germany trying to petition the German government to give him more millions of dollars to fund the war. But the people in Avdiivka were surrounded on three sides by Russian armies. So there was a very small escape route for the Ukrainians to get out and be safe. Zelensky was sitting back here saying, "No, F that. Stay here and just hold the line." But you can talk all that jive about holding the line all you want. These bombs are coming down, and these Russians are going to kill us if we're in this circle.
You're not there.
You're not there. We're low on ammo. We're low on weapons. We really can't defend ourselves anyway. We don't have the weapons to defend ourselves. And we're sitting back here getting bombed. They said they were losing 1,000 people a day. Can you imagine that? 1,000 people a day. And you want me to hold a damn line? And the 3 lines of their defense was broken? And you want me to hold it?
You can't even retrieve their bodies, man.
Brother.
1,000 people a day, you don't have time to retrieve their bodies.
And dig graves and separate it. So listen, they're feeling this pressure. And what they end up doing is the Ukrainian soldiers just start leaving. Normally, the higher ranking officers would shoot deserters. But guess where the higher ranking officers were? They left. Mm-hmm. The higher ranking officers say, we'll be right back. We're going to get orders in Kiev. And they'll go to Kiev and never come back. And leave you out here, sitting back here getting bombarded with not just regular bombs, but incendiary bombs.
Wow.
As soon as they hit a certain wood or it starts to turn, everything goes on fire.
Yes, phosphorus. There's a phosphorus.
It's just a damn fire. It's a fire where you're bunkered down at. I gotta hold this down while my superiors are leaving.
Well, when they was trapped in that plant city,
Mariupol.
yeah,
and they were sitting back here. At least they had some kind of protection. And this Avdiivka is bigger than or stronger fortification than Mariupol because it was the coke plant and they had underground tunnels. But the Russians were bombarding these underground tunnels. I'm like, dude, we're done. And then now they said the guys that left, Zelensky's court-martialing them.
Oh.
Like, this dude's whack, bro. And what was happening is they were leaving. Then the new general that they put over all the armies ordered a retreat. But he only ordered it because they were leaving anyway. And it would have looked bad, media-wise, if they found out that they were leaving before the order to retreat. They left the day before the order was to retreat.
Then you watch these Ukrainians when they use translators. They said the Russians are coming in waves that we cannot stop. They're coming in waves like you can't stop the waves.
And they're fresh.
Yeah.
So the Russians fight for 3 months and they go home. But they got another wave coming back in. It's always 3 waves. These guys have been out there for 2 years. They said, we're out here for 2 years with no rotational help. This is too much. So these guys are fresh. They're getting experience. They're coming in them. Then they get out 3 months. They come in. It's like, bro, I'm just bringing like the power of a king. How this guy, Zelensky, is ruining these people's lives. Ruining their lives. And listen, you have no choice. If you're a man in Ukraine right now, they have certain agencies that go to your house, will go inside your house and see if there's a man there. If you're a man from the age of like 17 to 55, you're going to war. Can you imagine? You're a 55-year-old man with sciatica, balding, your hairline's back here out. You got to sit back here and fight in some damn war out. What are you going to do? How long can you last in these crazy conditions? It's 20 degrees outside. 15 degrees outside. Your body is breaking. And you don't even have you got to march. You don't have no weapons. You barely have enough. Well, now you got to go hand-to-hand combat against these dudes. Listen, you don't have enough bullets. There's not enough bullets to go around. You got to go man on man with some 25-year-old trained dude with bayonets and knives. This dude's pulling out these crazy-ass Crocodile Dundee knives. You had 1 month of training, and you got to go against this dude? That's it. You're done. And that's all off the order of one man. That's the power of a king.
Navy to allow those without high school diplomas or GEDs to enlist.
Brother, that's in the United States, right?
Yeah.
Listen, everybody's got to gear up. The British Prime Minister was like, listen, man, we're going to have to start setting up conscription. It wasn't the Prime Minister, it was the head of their military. He said, we got to do conscriptions coming up real soon. Because we got to get ready for 2025. Everybody is getting ready for 2025. They're like, we're going to have to get ready for war. NATO got to get ready. NATO is prepping for war. It might be earlier in 2025, but they're saying that online. We need more men to get ready to go to war because this stuff's going down. And after NATO starts to tool up, who do you think's next? Comfortable Jake in the United States.
Yeah, if they already letting them in, this came from a Navy Times magazine article. If they're already bringing them in with no GED in the Navy, no GED, no diploma,
Brother.
that means
You whatever, bro.
you're not there for your brains.
Yeah.
You're not there for what you.
You're a body.
You're a body, bro. You're filling this position now. Yeah, bullet sponge.
Yeah. Oh. That's coming, bro. And that's the nice way. There's gonna be a lot of black folks fleeing to Canada.
Yeah.
Fleeing to Mexico. But not in Canada. They're gonna sit back here and they're gonna do conscription. They're gonna do conscriptions in Canada too, because they're part of NATO. There's nowhere to go. You better have the Lord. They're coming. But that is the power of the King. That's the whole point of it. One man can sit back and say, "Yeah, all you guys going to war. Your life changes." The crazy thing is, they're even trying to get Ukrainians that are in Europe and America and get them brought back to Ukraine to fight. They say, all the little aid you got, we're going to cut it off.
They doubling down on China.
I know.
They said that the China and Taiwan thing might pop off any minute.
I know. And your life changes automatically like this just because the guy wants to instigate. Just because the country wants to tell Taiwan, we recognize your sovereignty. And we're going to give you bullets and weapons and ships to defend your sovereignty. Anyway.
That's one person controlling a lot of lives.
Kinda. And that's the power of a king. Let's continue.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 13.
Hell, even what David did with Uriah.
Yeah.
He said, everybody, I want you guys taking the war, everybody back away and let him die. That's one man's order, bro. That man's life was over. Let's continue.
Verse 13. Then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or hath the lordship over them? Are they not women?
This is what Beyonce said. We rule the world.
Girls rule the world.
That's what she said. We're going to go why Jerubel says it. Read on.
Verse 15. Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyards from whence the wine cometh. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto them, and without women cannot men be.
So this is the position he's coming in is from a humble perspective. We can sit back here and produce and do all these things without your help. What are you? This is really where Zerubbabel is coming from. He's coming from a mind of a servant. If we're really going to be honest with our conditions, how dynamic can you be in this work without help?
Not too much.
How dynamic can you do in this word? How dynamic can you go in this word for us without the help of a rib? That is what the angle he's going about, really being humble. What the real power is in your help. You can only go as far as the help the Most High has given you.
The Most High said it's not good for a man to be alone.
And you can only go as far as your help goes. This is the angle. Read on.
Verse 18. Yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver, or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman, which is comely in favor and beauty?
A lot of times they'll sit back and get the gold and the silver for the woman. That's why men do it. That's why men work all these crazy jobs, these back-breaking jobs, to bring it back to mama.
Take her
so
shopping.
she'll sit back here and smile.
So she can go shopping now.
That's why men bust their tail. Men don't care about fashion that much, unless you're these metrosexual guys, high fashion.
Yeah.
Blue steel.
Too sexy for my shirt.
Blue steel. What was his other poses? It was blue steel.
Magnum.
It was another one too, La Tigre. It was the same look. They just moved it from different positions, If you're not that guy, which most of us aren't, it's about giving it to help make her happy, make the house run smoother. Right or wrong? That's what you work for. Read on.
Verse 19. And letting all those things go, do they not gape? And even with open mouth fix their eyes fast on her. And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold or any goodly thing whatsoever?
And that's the point. Men will sit back and bust their tail to get the gold. They'll sit back and fight dragons and slay beasts and go all crazy to get the love and appreciation and affection of his woman.
They're going
Yes,
to the North Sea. I've been watching these videos on the North Sea, and it's amazing, bro. It's like ice hail.
yeah.
There's water up and down out the ships.
Ice hail.
It's ice hail out. There's water.
Ice
jumping.
hail. They got oxymoron.
Yeah. But it's ice hail out. Listen, this ship's always going up and down. There's water coming on the ship. People are getting washed off the ship, and you gotta sit here and you gotta weld in the middle of these crazy waves.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like Antarctica. It's like ocean by Antarctica.
Okay.
Well, not Antarctica, North Pole, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's the North Sea, bro. And it don't like you can survive. It's like 25 G's.
That's like ice road trucker type stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy, bro.
Kind of.
But people do it while they live in this. While they work in this kind of conditions. Ice cold.
Send the money home, huh?
You got some of the house, bro.
Yep. It's also those guys that weld in what are those places in the sea? They have these sea welders up.
Yeah.
That's hard. It's dangerous, and it's a high death rate. They do it to make their wives happy. What's that?
There was many examples in the scriptures. Go fight this city.
Yeah.
Fight this
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
And I give you my daughter to
500 foreskins of Philistines. These 6'11" beasts. It ain't like these guys were chumps. These guys were Broad Street bullies. You got to go at these guys. You got to go take out 500. First of all, you got to kill more than 500 to have the time to take off all the foreskins. You got to kill out. You have to destroy and wipe out the entire town.
The block guy.
Because you got to kill them. You got to have the time to cut the foreskins off. Think about that.
Yeah.
You have to do this. Hurry! I better kill these 500 and cut them off. I got no time. You got to wipe out the whole block. The town got to be quiet.
Yeah.
Then when the town's quiet, then you can do your work.
Go collect your force.
That's what I'm saying. You got to wipe out all comers. You got to go to get more than 500 to keep the block quiet. Just for a woman, and then that woman cussed him out and talked about him and told him he wasn't nothing.
Yep.
And was jealous of him.
Yep.
So he killed 500 for nothing. He ended up not having a baby with her or nothing.
McCall, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Saul's daughter.
Anyway. Somebody had a hand up or something like that? Okay.
You pretty much answered it.
Yeah.
I was trying to. So did David have his servants do the cut, or
No,
David actually like unzipped and?
It was his woman.
It was his prize. I got to cut this for your
Hey, you go ahead
prize?
and do it, bro.
But
That's an order. That's an order, right? That's an order.
Hurry up.
remember, David carried around Saul's head for about 3 days until it started stinking. Remember they said the head's
Not Saul's, but
not Saul's,
Goliath.
Goliath's head. Remember it started stinking. Then he finally threw it away. But he had it with him. He had it with him as a trophy, man. David had no problem doing that.
Okay.
That was dirty work, bro.
Yeah,
But so let's continue.
This smells really bad.
yeah. It started to
You remember
stink, man. Get rid of that head. Man.
Oh man.
This is the foreskins must have stunk too, bro.
Yeah.
That was bad. Let's keep going on.
Verse 20. A man leaveth his own father that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife.
What does that mean? Hey, what I'm building with her now is more important than what I'm building with my mom and my daddy. That lets you know the power of a woman. It's the truth.
Call it a great mystery. Yeah.
Those are facts. Because if anybody can sit back and act like they know why they do what they do, you're tripping. On a daily basis and all the fluctuations and the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows and the peaks and the valleys mentally, if you can sit back here and forecast that, I salute you. But it's a great mystery.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Verse 21. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country.
That's the point. He makes a decision that it's about what he's building with his wife beyond everything else. So once he's showing the power of that support, he's showing the power of that man's support. Read on.
Verse 22. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman?
Con. Read on. You know, we'll inconvenience ourselves just to keep the house quiet. Am I right or wrong?
And the Josephus talking about brothers go out there and they be robbing. Huh? And they just out there working a job out. So guys they try to go to the North Sea. Huh? So guys like I'm gonna bring some home. Don't worry about it. I'll bring some home. Somebody gotta suffer.
Yeah.
And stick up kids, huh?
But what's the point? All these things just to make the house be at peace.
Yeah.
Okay? Read on.
Verse 23. Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob
There
and
you
to
go.
steal.
You just said it. Your man's going to take his gun and go rob.
Yeah, he gotta get they had an argument. He's like, ain't no, we need this, we need that.
You ain't doing enough.
I'm like, you know
And
what?
then you hear that you ain't doing enough talking. What you going to do?
Well, the job's taking too long to get paid. We need more than that. Just a job. That's all you got is a job. I'm like, you know what?
Listen, why did Lorenz Tate do the dead president's thing?
Come on, now. That's what I'm saying. Huh?
Why did he do the dead president's thing? Why did he put the damn ski mask on? Because listen, she needed money for food and the baby,
Yeah.
and that pimp cat was gonna take it.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the reason.
Yeah,
like, I got to make a quick come
He's
up
under pressure.
to keep this woman happy, because this dude with the lollipop is gonna take her again. This lollipop pimp is gonna take her again. Because if I'm not, he had a lollipop. He was always with a lollipop. I think he got a lollipop all the time.
When he was out for war, who you think took care of
Took care of her. I was like, this nigga gonna die now. This nigga's gotta die. Right now, he's gotta die.
Pinky was there.
That's what it was, This lollipop dude is sitting back here and just talking trash like I already handed it. And if you gonna get this money, well, I'm gonna take it again. So he got to make extreme moves now. Now the dead president's got money to buy. And now I got to go make that run.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal,
You gotta do.
to sell upon the sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion.
He like, man, people don't look at lions straight up. When they see a lion, they getting out of there, right? Do you think if I'm walking in the lands, in the wilderness, and I see a lion, I'm waiting for him to lock his eyes on me? I'm getting out of here, right? That lion's in the thicket, or he's eating, he's looking for something, I'm running. This guy that's desperate, like, I'm going to look at this lion face to face. And if this lion's getting in the way of my own being happy, then I got to take this lion out. It's easier. I already deal with this lion problem than deal with this angry woman at the house. Slamming kitchen tables and pots and pans and slamming
Shaking babies up.
cabinets, right?
slamming cabinets and stomping around. I already do that, slamming doors out.
Beating.
I already deal with this lion.
Ball beating. Breaking pots.
It's all tum. Like, damn, I already deal with this lion and that. You can tell when there's anger.
Dragon versus lion.
Like, damn. I gotta do with this shit. Here we go again. Excuse my French. I just know that thought. When you downstairs and it's just stomping, you're like, I know this person's there. God, be more careful.
They're on the phone talking about you while you're in the house.
Bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're like, I'd rather go to war out here. I'd rather go to war out here.
Yeah.
The lion ain't get like, well, I gotta do with this. I got nothing to do with this.
I'm the one with you.
I'm just hungry.
It's you and me, dog. It's you and me.
Isn't it like going to the gym? The equivalent of like,
Huh?
I'm sorry, it's like the equivalent of trying to let out steam in the mind.
Listen, I don't think so. I think a lion takes a lot more courage than hitting some iron out. Than doing some bench press out. Give me 245s over a lion any day of the week out. Let's keep going out.
And
I will take the iron.
looketh upon a lion, and goeth in the darkness. And when he has stolen, spoiled, and robbed.
There's fear in going into darkness. I don't know what's out there.
Somebody's out there.
Listen,
Some eyes out
I would
there.
rather deal with what I can't see here than what I can see at the house.
Yeah,
I know the argument I got at.
Listen, it's bad enough when you got just the hogs outside. The little eyes. And we was doing like the tens and stuff like that. Get the hogs out there
Yeah.
looking at. They want something too.
Yeah.
Everybody wants something.
Yeah.
But I'd rather deal with that, this wilderness, than deal with this argument at the house.
You always hear about the poachers trying to kill elephant, taking the ivory.
Yep.
Something always go wrong with the hunt. They always find poachers' bodies like the lions got to them. Like,
Yeah.
like they
Or jackals. Them jackals are no joke.
Them hyenas?
Hyenas,
Yeah.
them hyenas are real. Their teeth break bones.
Come
Their
up
teeth
short,
break bones. And they're in groups. They're in packs.
They do have a very high bite force as well.
Yeah. Listen, and they're making these little weird ass noises out there in the woods. That's not cool.
awesome elephant tusks.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Taking real risk.
And they say that good. The shit ain't that good.
Nah.
The risk and reward. That's most people. Is the risk worth the reward?
Yeah. Or you gonna just throw some pangolin skins for Chinese people that like anteater meat?
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
that's crazy, bro.
You got to put yourself in
It's
jeopardy.
a delicacy.
Oh yeah, because they want a libido booster.
Yeah,
Nah, bro.
that's crazy.
Let's continue,
Let
man.
alone mines off your honest man. Going those mines out.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting the black lung.
But just you gotta bring something home.
God, we don't.
And when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love.
Yeah.
Wherefore, a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Hey, many there be that have run out of their wits for women
Man.
and become servants for their sakes.
And it's the truth. It is the truth. Just like men serve that wine, they'll serve that woman more. Listen, whether it's to get that love reciprocated or just for peace. Just for peace of mind.
So they ain't new.
Because that's why the scripture said it's better to dwell in a housetop than to deal with a brawling and angry woman. Because when she's brawling and angry about how the bills need to get paid, and I'm stressed out, you're going to sit back and hear that tongue lashing?
Yep.
You're going to go to war with that lion. What are you going to do? You go to war with that lion. What's that?
Most of the conflicts in neighborhoods is always over women.
Yeah.
Always over trying to meet one of their desires.
Yeah. Listen, I'm in the neighborhood, bro, and I see these women coming out yelling and screaming and that tough Edomite's quiet as hell out. He's just like, fuck, man. He's sitting back here. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't say Edomite.
Nah, I answered them.
You said something.
I said that.
You said something. I'm just painting a picture about the dynamic about that husband sitting back here in the middle of her yelling in the middle of the street in front of everybody. He got to eat that and be cool and make that adjustment. If he loves her,
He endured that shame.
he endures that shame because he loves her.
Yep. Or how many men have Christ lost? Disciples have Christ lost because a man wasn't happy in the truth. Because a man's woman wasn't happy. A man's woman wasn't happy
Yes.
in the truth. How many young disciples, teachers, leaders, whatever you want to call
No
it,
doubt, bro.
believers that have forsook Christ because of a woman?
Because the woman said it's either me or the brothers.
Yeah.
It's either me or the truth.
Yeah.
That's happened a lot.
That's a brother.
A lot.
We've seen that many times.
Kinda.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe anymore
Yeah.
because
My woman, man, I gotta.
I can't come to class because she's not accepting me coming to class.
Yep.
She made other plans that interfere with me coming to class.
Yep.
So I put Christ on the back burner because of this woman's orders.
All we're reading about is the power that women possess.
Brother, I could, my ex-wife.
And then I must remember. I'm going to cut you off, but remember, we even read it in Philo about how one of the reasons why that the Essenes didn't deal with women was because women used their children to dangle in front of the men to force the men to choose their way over their principled way.
Yep.
And that's the power the women have also. They'll use the children that you have together as leverage.
They'll weaponize the children.
And that's what was said in Philo. To sit back here to get a man to do what they want you to do. And a man goes out of his wits for his woman, or the seed that they share together, which is still attached to the woman.
And a woman will put them ultimatums on you.
Yes.
It's either the church you believe in and your religion, or
the family.
Or your family. You will hear it all the time.
And I will go back to mom.
Yep.
And she's in another state, or 5 or 6 hours away.
Yep.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna be at the house alone, eating beans and rice out, angry, or you gonna and serving God? Or you gonna sit back and compromise?
And when you compromise, you still ain't happy anyway.
And then after the first compromise, then gonna be the next compromise you want to do.
Yep.
Then the next, and the next, and the next, and you're gonna be a servant. Then you're gonna be a complete servant, and when you're a complete servant, you'll get discarded anyway.
There's no respect.
There's no.
Once the respect is gone, the who you are as a man is no longer valid.
And that's what it means
You're
when
like-
men have gone out of their wits for women.
You're like one of the kids in the house now.
Yeah.
She talked to you like one of the kids.
It's the truth. So either you're gonna sit back and be principled and take the loss, or keep compromising and you're a servant in perpetuity. Kinda. You said something about you was gonna say something.
I
Like
was gonna say something.
There's no need.
Ain't no need to say it.
There's no need to say it.
But if you understand the how a woman has that power, he's explaining how powerful that woman is. A woman will interfere with your God. That's how powerful a woman is. Your belief in the Most High will be interfered because of a woman. Not many things can stand before you in Christ or you in the Most High, but a woman has that power to interfere with your production and your output and your belief. Like I said, I've had a situation with my ex-wife where she was like, the first time I went to class, because she didn't believe in the truth, she took the scriptures that I wrote down in the notes and she ripped them in half and said, I don't want you to go back to that class no more. Then I said, you know what? Why are you ripping up Bible verses? Like, what kind of demon are you? I didn't even know the truth, but I said, why are you ripping up Bible verses? That means that these Bible verses must have some type of power to get you to rip these verses up. This demon on you must be strong. This must be spiritual. Mm-hmm. Now, I was able to quantify the fact of her ripping up the Bible verses, meaning that, man, this must be spiritual. Yeah. But some men they can't put that together and say, man, they say, you know what, I don't want no drama in the house. Yep. So in order to keep the peace, let me go ahead and compromise. I won't go to class.
And I really don't want to lose.
And I really want to start over, because I don't want to start over. And also, I've invested so much into this woman. I got years into this woman. We got a family built. I already got these things established. Do I really want to start over? And then now you scratching your head like, what do I do? Yeah. But a woman will put you in that position where you got to choose the Most High or you got to choose them. Yeah. He's showing you that's power.
And that dynamic is what happens when it says they've run out of their wits for women.
Yeah.
The mental stress and the strain that comes from making that decision can break a man.
And wits is intelligence.
Yep.
So that means I failed to make intelligent decisions because of this woman.
Because you can't make it intelligent. This is I'm going to follow emotion or logic. One or the other. There's no simple structured solution to this. Either I'm going to make the right choice and lose it all, or make the irrational decision and be a servant.
Be a servant, yep.
And that dynamic is painful. When you got to make the principal choice, and the principal choice means you lose everything you've built.
Yep. Or you start from scratch.
Bro, it makes things, especially when kids get in the equation, it makes things even harder.
Yeah. Situation get delicate, bro.
I know. How hard do I press? How hard do I develop? And then whether it's about leaving or staying is one thing. Then it's okay. I got a kid. How much can I push her? How much can I challenge her spiritually? Then, because this person might break if I challenge her too spiritually, now I got to tiptoe around how hard I develop her, how much I put her through spiritually for her own good. Now I gotta disseminate development at a way slower clip out of a concern of losing her in the first place.
Because you just can't break down the Bible class to her because she's not she that don't make sense to her. So you gotta tell her stories. You gotta use stories You got to beat around the bush. You got to use biblical analogies.
Yeah.
You got to create these
You gotta make some
structures.
Aesop's fables.
Yeah, you get some fables.
The tortoise and the hare. You come with that nigga. This is you see something spiritual.
You're racking your brain on how can I get her to see what I see in the scriptures.
Yeah.
Then you racking your mind. You can't sleep at night.
How do I get her not to take this message personal?
Right.
That's the first. How do I get
Or
her
see
not
the
to take
good.
this
Or see
personal?
the good in the Bible.
Con. How do I get this person not to think that I am trying to break her spirit? How can I get this person to see that correction is a good thing and not a tearing down of your soul? Listen, you can't even go in the Bible verses until you can sit back here and get a person to be hooked on growth. But this woman got 3 kids with you, and I don't really want to grow. Then guess what? You're in a trick bag at that point. Then it's compromise town.
Yep.
Until this person decides to bounce. Or something happens and they figure out that the Most High is worth valuing.
And then if this woman is attached to your self-esteem, you're really in trouble.
And that's when the crazy really comes out.
Yeah.
That's when the crazy comes. That's when the Robin comes out.
Yeah.
Is that Robin is stealing that? The block is bleeding out when your self-esteem is connected to this woman. Listen, that's when cops come out at.
Yeah.
That's when domestic violence situations happen out. When your self-esteem is predicated on her staying with you.
Yep.
Then crazy Joe, then that image of that Samuel L. Jackson kicks out.
Yeah.
Or that image, that meme of Samuel L. Jackson or Ike Turner comes out. He like this, where you going? What you doing?
Yeah.
You better not go over there.
Fishburne pop up.
Then that controlling person comes out.
Well.
Anyway, let's continue, man.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. Verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred,
That
and
happens too.
sinned for women.
We lost a lot of good brothers.
And then someone brought it out about the compromising. Once they sit back here and force you to make a decision, a lot of times we choose sin. We choose weakness to placate. And this is the power of women. This is really supposed to be about the man being strong in principle. And a man will break way more for a woman. Listen, men know how to sit back and follow orders and just of a king or a person over him and still get by and keep your mind. Listen, if I got orders from on top, I can physically go through the orders but mentally not be there. But your woman, she's turning you from the inside out. She breaks you from the inside out. If you love her out.
That's the first sin. A man listens to a woman.
Kinda.
That's the first sin in the Bible.
It's the truth.
Samson broke as well.
Yeah. Samson knew this broad was trying to kill him. He knew it. Multiple times they came to kill him after he told him a bogus solution. This chick is gunning for me. I'm at a brothel. She's a treacherous brothel chick. That's what she is, She's one of them switchblade brothel chicks, that I have fun with. I'm in enemy territories, and she's out to get me. And she drove me to the point of madness. I'd rather risk dying. Listen, I'd rather risk dying by telling her the truth than to just leave. Why did he just leave? Because he was into her.
She had his heart.
Yeah.
That's the insanity, huh?
His head was on her lap when she cut it.
Yeah, but she's driving him crazy. That is the most foolish thing you can do.
There's a story in the Bible, I think it's in 1 Kings and 2 Kings, to where the gentleman had the king had the crown on his head, and the lady walked up and smacked him. And
No, that's talked about right here. It's talked about in Ezra.
he just laughed.
That's in Ezra.
That's an evidence. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
But Samson was infatuated with her because he told his parents go get that woman because she's good. I like the way she made me
no,
feel.
that's a different one. That was
You talking about the first one?
I'm talking about the harlot.
The second
Because the one he wanted, he burnt that man's
the
field.
Yeah. But
He put like 100 foxtails on fire and let them run into the damn crops and destroy the entire crop side.
That's right.
He went crazy when he lost her.
People were
Yeah.
mad.
But he left and didn't take her. Left for a year and got mad that she married somebody after a year.
Yep.
You were supposed to wait on me
The best man. Yeah.
forever.
That's right.
Crazy.
Listen, this is maniac stuff. But this is what happens with men when they want a woman that they can't get, or they want control of this situation. They love her, but they can't control how they think. Then the compromising goes, and they make these crazy backwards decisions. They start sinning because they want something that they can't control.
Yep.
That's the power of a woman. Most men can't accept if I can't control it and manage it, let it go. That's what you're supposed to do. If I can't mitigate it, I gotta let it go. But men sit back and operate in this insanity when I still want it, but I can't mitigate it. I can't control it. I can't develop it. I can't make sure this mind is right.
Yeah,
So then men go into carnal ways to try to keep something that wasn't meant to be kept.
Yeah.
At least not by you.
Those are extreme measures that men make to try to control something that they have no power over.
Sin, error, the erroring and the sin comes from trying to compromise to keep somebody that doesn't want to be kept.
Yep.
Let's continue.
I think he had his hand up.
Oh, who had him?
So she couldn't wait the year? That was just what? A bridge too far?
He didn't say he was coming back in a year. He just left. He didn't say, babe, I'm coming back in a year to take you. He just left.
Do what men do.
And never gave her notice that I'm coming
Or
back.
communication, yeah.
He just broke it off and left.
And so, but his heart still
So then now, when he decides that he wants to give it another try,
still loves him.
well, after he cut it off, he comes back and she moved on, and he can't handle the fact she moved on.
She moved on in a year? Within a year she moved on? But she loved him though.
He never dealt with them. They never. Listen. First of all, they never dealt.
Oh.
This is what I'm talking about. They never dealt. She wasn't his physically. So now you want to be a maniac? You leave. You don't consummate the marriage. You come back. Now I'm ready. Oh no, she already got somebody. I'm gonna kill everybody in the damn town now. Not just her. I'm gonna destroy the entire town's livelihood because I'm mad that the woman I was expecting to still be there wasn't there.
I got the car.
That's maniac stuff, when we went over Judges, Judges was Debo in the spirit. I don't give a damn what nobody says. Samuel was Debo in the spirit. That dude was a carnal brute.
Samson.
What did I say? Samson. Salakia. Samuel was a great man. Samuel was a brute. Samson was a brute. Samuel was a great man. You read all throughout.
Sam was the Don.
Samson.
He was the Don.
Samson was a carnal guy. And the Most High just used that blunt instrument to break other blunt instruments in the Philistines. He was the only person, if you remember, the entire Judite tribe and Benjamin was afraid of the Philistines. They said, we don't want no part of these dudes. That one guy. No, they ended up checking Samson. And why are you starting trouble for us, man? Stop this! We gotta deal with these guys blow back off of you going to their warehouses and beating these guys up like it's Roadhouse. It's Roadhouse. It's like Roadhouse. It's like Roadhouse. They go to enemy territory. Kick.
Swayze.
It was the whole damn thing, alright?
Swayze.
Anyway, let's continue, alright.
Jimmy!
And you know there's a remake coming out.
I can't wait. It better be good.
It better be good because I'm actually going to watch that.
I will be there.
That was a cult. First of all, the first one was a cult classic. It was a great movie. Anyway,
He put the knife inside.
Come on now.
I love that scene. He's making trouble. Right? That's what Samson was doing.
He was making trouble. He was. Let's keep going.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women.
Awesome, man.
And now do ye not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him?
Read on.
Yet did I see him and
He says, this king, Darius, is untouchable. Everybody follows Darius. But he says, didn't I see King Darius and Apame, his number one lady? Read on.
And Apame, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admirable Bardacus, sitting at the right hand of the king.
Man, she's on the right hand of the king, and he's gawking at her.
She bad. She bad.
He like, girl, what you want, baby girl? What you want? He's all powerful with everybody. Listen, speak. Thou shalt not speak. You may speak. You may not speak. Shemai.
Yeah.
And she's always like,
Yes, sir.
stop, girl. You better stop, girl.
He
You
was
tripping. You so funny.
You drunk him?
Ain't nobody ever think you so funny. You are so funny. You are a treat.
That's how
You are finer than wise.
He had the spray T-Pain on him, man.
damn.
Oh, good.
It was.
T-Pain. Let me buy you a drink.
Yeah.
Come on, let's keep going.
Verse 30. And taking the crown from the king's head.
Listen, can you imagine some dude coming up here and is snatching the king's crown off?
With his head out.
Oh, listen, he can't even get that close before he gets smashed. He won't let you get that close to take his crown off. This girl sitting back here taking it. You took my crown off. You tripping, girl. You try it on me. Let me put it on.
Oh, man.
That's what you gonna do.
Shorty wore his ice, huh?
Yeah.
Read on.
And taking the crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head, she also struck.
That's embarrassing.
No. It's not embarrassing. It's not embarrassing if you're a man and you see what's going on. You're like, okay, I understand. There's nobody looking in disrespect because he's sitting back here getting close and touching her. She said, "Stop." And he like, okay. we going back and forth. We playing a little bit. Okay. I'll wait till we later on in the spot to continue. Those are all little games that people play. And that's what everybody's seeing. Okay, I get that.
You still gotta suffer some type of embarrassment out of it. Like that's still embarrassing. Even to play like that. You know what I'm saying? To take you to not take you serious.
You don't care. You don't care. We want to have that fun. You ain't gonna care. You ain't gonna care.
The king. I thought you was the king though.
But see, I'm the king, and that's where it can happen. I can still flex on y'all. she can play on that. She ain't gonna keep it forever. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get my hammer back. I'm gonna get my crown back. Anyway, let me stop. But he's saying the power that women possess, the power that men give women.
Yeah, they yield that.
The power that they yield.
That's how John the Baptist got his head cut off. Because he was checking his brothers, you know, for dealing with through adultery, and then that wife, you know, her daughter was dancing. He was like, man, you can have half the kingdom, whatever you ask for, you can have it.
That's what Xerxes said to who? To Esther. He said, you can have half the kingdom, baby girl. What you want?
Yeah.
The princess of Munda said the same thing.
The princess of Munda.
You have
come to America?
Oh, that's my throne. That's my throne.
We're going like two biblical topics. He said Prince of Kings are the same thing, huh? Prince of Kings said it too. Oh, I'm sorry.
He's a king.
Okay, Prince of Kings. That's not the same type of king. That's not the same king comparison. King Xerxes, King Herod, Prince of Kings,
in the same breath. That's how powerful that movie was. Coming to America was powerful.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Especially in the 80s.
Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue.
Verse 30.
Yeah.
And taking the crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head, she also struck the king with her left hand.
Yep. And it's a left hand slap too. That's disgraceful to slap with the left hand. That's the poop hand.
Yeah.
And they slapping with the poop hand. How dare you slap with the poop hand? That's a double slap in the face. He's like, you know what? You don't want to get away with this. You better stop that now. You better stop that. These are tickle monsters.
The tickle monster.
I'm gonna get you.
The tickle monster.
That's a real one.
Let's keep going up.
Verse 31. And yet for all this the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth.
Kinda.
If she laughed upon him, he laughed also.
Because he was sitting back here and following her every word in motion. He was sitting back here serving. That's servitude. Read on.
But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again.
You know, and the king can sit back and talk how he wants, roll how he wants. You got to adjust to him. But this king is adjusting to every whim and emotional and physical response she gives him. That's servitude.
That's when you acknowledge that somebody's whipped. Somebody's whipped at that point. You know, that's the definition of being whipped.
That's not even his wife. That's his concubine. That's his concubine. That's not even his number one wife that he presents in the royal court. This is a side thing.
That means
that he's geeking off of.
That means he's already let his guard down with this person. For that person to be that close and able to do those and get away with that, his guard is already down.
That's his cutted buddy.
Yeah.
That's what it is. All right? But let's keep going.
Verse 32. O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing they do thus?
And saying, listen, women can understand it. The power that they hold, how they could break weaker men. Because that's really what this is about. Read on.
Then the king and the princes looked one upon another. So he began to speak of the truth.
So now he's talking about, he says, they're listening, they understand what he said about the women. Now he's going to speak about the power of truth. The power of truth. Read on.
Verse 34. O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course. For he compasseth the heavens round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore, great is the truth, and stronger than all things.
Truth is stronger than all things. Read on.
All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesseth it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. All the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish.
Stop. Read that verse again.
Verse 37. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. And all the children of men are wicked. And such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish.
You know what's crazy? This concept resonates, and I'm going to focus on the wickedness of men. Because even with men, when you deal with camps, camp banging, one camp is off more than another camp is off. This camp is more in the spirit than this camp is off. The reality is, the only thing that matters at the end of the day is the truth being established in each camp and in each city and in each school. We can sit back here and say that this person, I'm doing more than this person. This person ain't changing this. That person ain't changing this. You know, all the Most High is doing. How much of the truth is in you? We can sit back and talk about all these abbreviated schools that swear that they're on a high horse and operate on a greater level than the other ones. When in reality, the Most High is looking at, okay, you might do this better than this person. They might do that better than this person, than you. But ultimately, is the truth in you? And how much of the truth is each individual man committing himself to? That is the race that everybody is at. We can sit back here and deal with discrepancies, even amongst men that are amongst us in camps. We can sit back and talk about this person is this person is that. But ultimately, you know what the Most High, you and I have been talking to brothers lately about, is the power of truth, the power of judgment. Because this is what truth is also about. The power of judgment is, okay, you know what? The only thing that matters is that the Most High's got everybody in the spiritual trick bag that they've deserved.
In check. In check.
If I have pride, The Most High's got me in a situation to break my pride. If I lack the ability to serve, then the Most High's got me in a situation where I'm going to be forced to serve. If I'm the type of person that only cares about my home and my comfort, guess what the Most High does? He makes your home extremely
The
uncomfortable.
curse in the house, the way.
We can sit back here and talk about who's off, who's right, who's in the spirit, who thinks they're better than what. But the truth matters. The truth is the only thing that matters. And the truth is, you're in your condition because of your wickedness. This other person's in their condition because of their selfishness. Your marriage is the way it is because of what you haven't chosen to do, men or women. Everybody is in their trick bag. That's truth. People can sit back here and manufacture problems. We can sit back and operate a certain way, even if there's oppression from one person to another. We can go into all of what's wrong. But ultimately, the Most High is going to sit back and judge each and every one of us based upon the truth that you're existing in and how you're operating in that.
A famous brother said one time, I'm not gonna go into details. I'm not doing that. Brother said, I'm suffering for my sins, huh? And the brother's often animated. But true words have never been spoken. Huh? He said, my condition is because of my sin.
And I'm gonna say this. You're right. But it's not just for the extreme sinner. Most High's got everybody in a position to show you the truth about you. Every single one of us are in manufactured situations that the Most High wants us in to keep us humble, to show us that as much as we think we're on point, we're not. As much as you think that your position is more just than another person's position, the great equalizer is the truth that each and every person is in an uncomfortable situation to remind you, you don't got it like you think you got it. You're not as potent and strong and in the spirit like you claim to be. And that is what prevails over anything else. You can front to a person, you can present yourself like you're on a level, but the Most High got you in your situation. And you can talk all you want, you can posture like you want, but when them doors are closed and you're at home, Most High got you where you're at. And you can sit back here, and because you got to see you. If you have a negative outlook, if you're hateful, if you're proud, if you're selfish, the Most High got you in a handcrafted position to show you. You can front how you want in front of people. You can tell yourself you're doing this and you're doing this all you want, but your condition shows you your truth. And who's in control of your condition? The Most High. The Most High is in control of your condition. And your condition is what it is because of what's inside of you. And that's the great equalizer to all of us in this realm and in this life that we're living for the Most High.
Yep.
You get a hand?
Yeah. Romans chapter 14, verse 7. Yeah, that's perfect. Because we can lie and say, well, this person got it easier than me, or I got it harder than
or
me.
I was done wrong, and this one is off.
Or I don't deserve this, or I don't deserve that. But like you said, the condition in my situation is what the Most High is what I should be looking at to say, you know what, maybe I do deserve this, or maybe this is where the Most High got me at. You know, because some of us we don't accept what the Most High's judgment is. 14 verse 7.
Romans chapter 14 verse 7. For none of us liveth to himself.
It says none of us belong to ourselves. So what he's saying is we can always look externally and say what somebody is not doing and what I'm doing, and I'm doing more, this person doing less, or my work is greater, and that person's not. They could try harder. We could always look on the. It's easy to look on the outside and say what should be or could be better. He said, but what we should be looking at is who are we supposed to be persuaded to live for? He said, none of us live for who?
For none of us liveth to himself.
To himself. Go ahead.
And no man dieth to himself.
Go ahead.
For whether we live unto the Most High.
It says everything that we're supposed to be focused on is pleasing who?
The Lord.
That's all that matters. I shouldn't be looking externally outside myself to determine righteousness, because What we like to do is measure somebody up or something up in proximity to us to see where we are in life. If I measure myself to this man, that'll let me know where I am, whether I have grown, or I haven't grown. We're too busy measuring ourselves up to the people around us when that's not the measure. He said you're supposed to be measuring yourself up to make sure you're following who?
For whether we live unto the Lord.
Maybe make sure that the people around me is not the measure, but my servitude to the Most High is the measure. Now, we show the Most High that we love him through how we deal with our brothers, but the brother is not the measure. Read on.
And whether we die unto the Most High.
Read on.
Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Most High.
We belong to who?
The Most High.
So regardless, like a war's bringing out, I shouldn't be looking at, you know what, this camp is wrong because they don't do this. Or this camp is righteous because they do this. You know what? Everybody has a responsibility to serve the Most High.
By the right name.
Right. They say Yahweh. We say Ahaya. Or we say Ahaya, they say Yahweh. What does it matter? What does it matter? Because when at the end of the day, you got to answer to who? And that's what he's going to say. He's going to say, you got at the end of the day, whether you say Ahaya or you say Yahweh, read on.
Whether we live, therefore, or die.
Or if I'm pro-camp or anti-camp.
Yep.
Because some people are sitting back and say, I'm anti-camp. Well, you know what? If you're anti-camp, you still got to deal with your selfishness.
Yep.
If you're anti-camp, you still got to deal with your pride.
Thanks.
If you're anti-camp, you still got to deal with your negative outlook.
Yep.
So whether you're in a camp or you're out of camp, you disagree with one elder or you're locked into another, you're on the hook to change.
Period.
So we can go all around in circles about camp, pro-camp, name of Yahweh or Ahio or whatever. The Most High still got a ton of crap in you that you're responsible to fix. Now, from spiritual experience, if you don't have spiritual people around you to help you fight, you're making your life 10 times harder.
10 times harder. It's already hard.
So we can go and sit back here and act like this person's off and this person's not off. But you know what? That Most High's got this light on you, exposing what's inside of you. Now, whether you choose to accept it or not, it's on you. Whether you choose to say, man, the camps are messed up, or this brother did me wrong, whatever you want to say, at the end of the day, if you choose to remove yourself from your battle, you're still on the hook to make these changes. People want to make it about a camp, a person, my experience. Okay, wife, your husband was a dirtbag in 70 things. But the 30% of the things he told you, you're still on the hook for.
Yeah.
Now, maybe the Most High had you to deal with this person to still get you to see that you had to change.
Or to show you that there's virtues in you that you don't possess, such as patience, such as tolerance, such as obedience or mercy. Yeah. The Most High will bring that situation or individual to show what we lack.
And that's the thing. That women leave men because of certain things they're not bringing to the table. But you know what? That person put you in the battle that you needed so that you could get to the kingdom. And we can see that with women. Oh, she left her battle. That man kept her fighting her battle when she ran from her battle. But we can't see that with men that are over us. We don't see it that way.
It's the same.
It is exactly the same. Because a woman has to sit back here and take the good and the bad. Does she not?
Yeah.
Listen, we're acting like we're these super shiny princes that are perfect. No, that's not the truth, Doc. We're full of crap. There's good in us and there's major flaw. And a wife has to choose, okay, with all the flaws, what is the spiritual good that I see in this man? Let me value that so I can learn and grow. It's the same thing with men. You can say, like, I don't want to be in this camp or in this situation. I choose this arena and this arena. Okay, fine. A lot of us choose independence, but don't realize there's a cost to independence.
Yeah.
Because with independence, now you have less eyes on you. Less eyes and less accountability. But the Most High is still going to hold you accountable to make these changes. This is not changing. Everybody's on the hook to change. Truth reigns supreme. The truth about who you are. The truth about what you're not doing. The truth about what you're not fighting inside yourself. A lot of men hide from the truth by teaching. People will sit back here and teach, but not deal with the truth about what's inside of them. What's the truth inside of you? You can teach all them day long. What about your pride and your lust and your selfishness and your ego? What about that? Oh, I teach so I'm good. No, that's not true.
That's a Pharisee.
That's a Pharisee. What about the real issues, the truth that you refuse to change and acknowledge in yourself? That is what rules over everything. Opinion, biases, feelings. You can not like whatever, but the truth about you still remains. And that's what the Lord is looking at. That's what He's judging. What's in you, and how hard and how painstaking have you sat back and committed to fixing the crap that's in you? The ugly truth about you. Truth is good and is bad. The truth about you, there's a duality to you. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
There is a duality to all men. There's good in men, and there's putrid sickness in men. So you can sit back and say, I don't like a war. I don't like this camp. I don't like this school. I don't like another school over there. But you know what? Take all that aside. What is the truth about you? What is the ugly truth about you? And are you committing your life in this book to break that? That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else matters. Camp affiliation, school affiliation, or you're on the hook to change. Are you changing?
That's why some men have said, you know, I'm gonna take my talents elsewhere to other schools.
That's my point.
We've heard men say that too. Well, you know, I'm not sure if I want to be in this camp. I got 2-3 other camps looking at me.
Yeah, I've been shopping around.
Yeah, I've been shopping around. You know, this camp want me. This camp
I'm doing
want
an
me.
interview and I'm sitting back here. What can you offer me in the spirit?
You know, and like we tell them, listen, bro, pick one.
People have said that, and people have actually done it.
Yeah,
there's different people that have done. Listen, there's certain people that have actually said it.
Yeah,
and other people that just tried it and realized it was bogus and just didn't do it.
Yeah, but you know, we tell them, pick one and give your life to
and
it. Ride it out.
He said, "Yeah, I'm the #1 draft pick in this other school."
Go for it, man.
I'm being sarcastic, but #1 draft.
Yeah,
I'm highly touted.
Yeah,
I'm highly touted. The class of 2022, bro. I'm top pick, bro.
A 5-star recruit. I'm a 5-star recruit amongst Israelites.
Yeah. I'm highly touted. Want me, bro? I have a lot to give and bring to the table. I'm like, cool. I said, whatever you do, commit. Then all of a sudden, I didn't hear anything about it anymore. Whatever you do, commit.
Because with all that talk, that's still what they're running from. You know, because what good are you doing here being a 50-50 person with 1 foot in and 1 foot out, not sure if you want to be here? You're better off going somewhere you want to be at and be 100% invested into that camp.
And you still got to serve.
Yeah.
Wherever you're going to be at, you got to serve.
Is it McDonald's over there?
If you're going to be at the job, serve at the job. Serve. You still got to serve. How about that? And you got to serve. You got to submit. You got to be in order. None of that changes. You got to put yourself last.
I just want better hours. Okay. Well, get those hours.
The only problem is the further and further you're away from other like-minded people trying to fight, the harder it is to change. That's the consequence. That's the truth. If you're not around people trying to fight, what's the likelihood of you trying to fight? Slim and none. But nobody wants to realize that everybody's on the clock for change. And the Most High has an expectation when He comes back after reading about them talents that you double your talents. We can talk all we want about whatever affiliation and offense that's happened where I don't want to mess with this school anymore or that school. When Christ comes back, have you doubled your talents? Because some of the talents need to be doubled. You got to be around other Israelites for them to be doubled.
Yeah.
People think I can double talents at the house. You can't do shit at the house. You can't get shit accomplished at the house. You got to be around people that will force you to change.
You gonna do that?
You can sit back here.
Honeydew
I'm
list.
studying. Playing all these page noises.
Yeah.
He's like this.
Yeah.
I'm learning. Did you know that? I want you to know that I'm learning. And did you also know that I know the Hebrew? The Lashawan Kodash. Abagada Hawaza. Ha Taya. Kalamana Saipa. Tzakwa. I am learning. Good night, y'all. Listen, that's cool. But the change is required. You got to be around people and suffer with people. Why did Christ sit back here and go to the publicans and sinners? Why did he do that? Why did he not go with like-minded, learned men who understood the scriptures? Because there's no battle in that. The battle is having to rehabilitate drunken-minded people. Remember, we just read about those. The
fatherless child.
The fatherless child was like a drunken man. You got to go with these drunk-minded people and help rehabilitate them. And in the process of teaching them is how you get humbled.
Every time.
The humility comes from the teaching. And the teaching isn't just, you're a Jew, have a good night.
I'm humble.
That's what brothers have said back in the day in the night. In the 90s, brothers would say, yeah, I just sealed a brother today.
You see.
What do you mean you sealed? I told him he was from the tribe of Ephraim. What? He's sealed now? Now he's on the hook and he's going to die? If he don't know no better? Just because I said he heard the word, you're a Jew? That is where men's minds are. Yep. The teaching is the rehabilitation. It's the development. We can go all around. That's not debatable. Camp here, what city you do with that? Okay, that is debatable. But what's not debatable is your commitment to the sick. And if you're not committed to the sick, how are you going to grow? How are you going to fix the dirty truth about yourself? How are you going to fix the dirty truth about you if you don't commit yourself to the sick? You're on the hook, you're exposed, and it's a matter of time before Christ comes back and you are found wanting and lacking. Then Christ is going like, didn't you hear that you're supposed to feed my sheep? Matthew 25?
Yeah.
When I was hungry, you weren't there. When I was thirsty, you didn't give me drink. What are you talking about? When I never saw you hungry and needed a drink, it was my little ones. My little ones are who? The one that I just said. The fatherless were the hungry ones and the thirsty ones. They are the measure of where you're at in the spirit. And as you develop them, you get developed. We think, I'm just going to teach this brother and drop it up. No. When you teach young people or people who need, you have to go to higher levels of humility to develop these people that don't appreciate you. That's what teaching is. That's what Christ experienced. As he was teaching, he taught a bunch of people that didn't appreciate him for nothing. Right or wrong? Mm-hmm. He said, I'm going to give you vision. Don't say nothing. Hey, everybody, I can see now. Drinks on me. Christ did it. Like, what? Did you appreciate anything I just gave you? That is the process. So in the process of me getting let down and getting taken advantage of, works on my what? Humility. My love. My mercy. These are the things that you have. But we all are responsible to work on in ourselves. That is the truth about our condition. So as Zerubbabel is explaining, that woman is the strongest, but truth is really the strongest. Because the only thing that matters, we can go into opinions all we want. We can make opinions about wine, the king, women. They're all wicked. Men are wicked. The only thing that matters, the power is of truth. And can you accept your reality? Everybody wants to speak their truth. What about the dirty truth of you? The dirty side of you? Can you accept the filth in you? And accept that I haven't worked on the filth in me enough? I can judge another person's filth. I can say another person ain't doing enough. Or I can be upset that you're judging me. But why don't you accept the fact that you got a ton of filth in you that you have chosen not to fix? That's undisputable. And that's what's strongest.
But that mentality doesn't accentuate or glorify my attributes.
It doesn't make you feel good.
It doesn't make me look good. It doesn't make me feel good about who I think I am.
God, my point is, I don't care what camp a person's from. Are you changing? If you're not changing, you're just wasting time.
Because a lot
you could be in this camp and not change, and you're wasting your time.
Because we want to accentuate our highlights, the good part about us. What about the strong side of me? Look at the strong side of me.
It doesn't matter how much money you make. Doesn't matter what hype videos you got online. Doesn't matter how many Edomites you curse out online. Doesn't matter. How does that matter? Are you changing? And are you dedicating your life to the sick? Nothing else matters. We go all of the dog and pony shows we do don't mean nothing if you ain't committing your life to the sick. And in the process of dealing with the sick, you're fixing what's inside of you. How you do it, what you do, it's up to you. But the truth is, if you're not fixing those things, you're on the hook. And your salvation is questionable.
You got a read scripture on that too. Luke 7:39.
Luke chapter 7, verse 39.
Read that.
Now when the Pharisee which had bidden him saw it, he spake within himself, saying,
Now this is when the woman that was crying, asking for forgiveness, who knew she was a sinner, came into the house that Christ was eating dinner with the Pharisee. Read. But this man saw the woman crying and wiping his feet with tears. This Pharisee, which is supposed to be a leader of the people, said within himself, he said within his own mind, what?
saying, This man, if he were a prophet,
If this man was really a prophet, if Christ, the Son of the Most High Power, if he was really a prophet, then what?
would have known who and what manner of woman this is that toucheth him, for she is a sinner.
So this man used the fact that this woman was dirty, this woman was a street woman or whatever, she was a sinner, as a measure to say whether he's a prophet or not. To qualify his judgment. His judgment of Christ is based upon how does he look at the people the way I look at the people. If this man was really a prophet, so what is he saying? If this man really had understanding, he would agree with the way I look at this woman. And that's actually bogus. And what Christ did was come in and show this man, you have the wrong perspective of the people. You don't look at the people right. You use a measurement of how you judge people based off baseless facts. So what if this person is a sinner? Doesn't that mean that this person requires more of your attention? So then who's supposed to fix him if this person is a sinner? All that does is put you on the hook as being responsible and accountable for that person's uplifting. You got to uplift this person now. But instead, what we'll do, that's that I'm going to sit as a teacher, but I don't want to be bothered with your issues. I'm going to sit as a position of leadership, but I don't want to be down and dirty. I don't want to get down and dirty with you. I'd rather keep a distinguishment between you're over there and I'm over here.
Yep.
You know, I can tell you what to do, but you know what? I have no desire to get down on your level and help you.
Yep.
But that's mentality is wrong. That mentality is crooked. And a lot of us will get this knowledge and only use the knowledge to separate ourselves from each other. And say, well, you know what? That's why I don't mess with that count. That's why I don't mess with that brother. That's why I mess with this person. That's why I mess with these individuals. Because they're polluted. There's something wrong with them. Versus, what am I willing to do to change me to help them out?
And what environment do I need to be in to get the most out of me?
Yep.
What environment do I need to surround myself around so I can be the best I can be so I can get to the kingdom? We can sit back here and fight and argue over semantics, little things. Wives don't get to do that. Wives don't get to say, man, I love this about my husband, but I wish he don't do this. You got to take the good and the bad. How come we can't take the good and the bad? Didn't Job tell his wife, listen, man, you're going to sit back and expect all this good from the Most High and not deal with evil? Not have to deal with some kind of loss or have to accept some type of fallback? Inconvenience from getting this good? None of us escape that. Didn't Christ say, hey, the just and the unjust get rained on? And they get the sun. You got to get both. In our journeys to serve the Heavenly Father, you're going to get sun and you're going to get rain. The first sign of rain, see, that's why I can't do this. This is why I can't serve the Most High with these men.
And back to that point, what we bringing out is there's no truth in our judgment.
Huh?
That's what makes us wicked.
Huh?
That's what makes the woman wicked, wine wicked, the man
wicked.
Because they alter judgment. All three of them have an altered judgment.
Mm-hmm.
They have a crooked judgment. Wine just destroys your judgment. Women destroy your judgment. And the way that man look at other men,
we destroy ourselves.
We destroy our judgment.
Mm-hmm.
All of them have a crooked judgment. That's why truth reigns supreme.
That's the point. Truth about you, about where you're at. That's the only thing that matters. Let's continue. In Ezra's. First Ezra's.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 37. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. All the children of men are wicked.
Without the proper judgment.
Yep.
And such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth.
The truth about who you are, the record about your conduct, the record about your good works and bad works, that lasts on. Read on.
It endureth, and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore.
Listen, the
The
truth
principles
about
are
who you are, your principles, standing on the right principles, living your life by truth, that stands forever. And the proper evaluation of who you are stands forever. Because when those books get open, your truth is going to be revealed. Am I right or wrong? Your truth is going to be exposed. The ugly truth, the good truth, every aspect of your truth will be revealed. And nobody can escape that. Read on.
Verse 39. With her there is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things.
And that's the point. Listen, you could sit back here. I remember there was a spirit of womanizing, heavily womanizing in the 90s. And brothers blamed the culture of the camp as to why they did it. Okay, the culture was bad, but you didn't have to do it. So brothers use the culture as to why their marriages failed. My marriage failed, my relationship failed in the 90s because of the culture of the wicked generals. The culture was bad, but you chose that culture. Truth exists over all your opinions. You knew better. The scripture says what it says. The truth is you chose that strong influence around you, and you didn't choose truth.
Or we seen where men that left the truth are bitter at the Most High and bitter at the camp because they say that amongst all the hard work I was doing for the camp never had insurance. So therefore, because I didn't have insurance, I'm in the condition that I'm at now in my life because when I was with the camp never provided insurance. Well, if the camp didn't have insurance, that means I should have been eating 10 times more healthy if I knew I had no insurance.
Yep.
Wouldn't I have had the most supreme health if I knew that the truth didn't have no insurance?
Okay.
Wouldn't I have?
Why eat burgers and fries?
Yeah, why eat sloppy food then? If you know the truth ain't got no insurance.
That's real.
But men will use whatever little thing they can conjure up that's crooked in their judgment to say this is why I don't mess with a camp. So, but you're saying that because the truth didn't have no insurance, that this is why you're angry at the Most High in the camp now because your health is failing.
Yeah.
But you don't take no accountability for the type of food, the quantity of food, the time that you ate, the ingredients that you put in your mouth. You took no accountability for that, but is mad that the camp didn't have insurance, as if the insurance was going to stop your crooked judgment and your choice and your food selection.
We have been more like Wimpy. You'd eat more burgers if you had insurance.
Right.
Healthcare is only going to do so much. So what pill or fix do you think healthcare or insurance was going to do for you going to the doctor? It's still going to tell you the same thing.
Right.
So what were you think you're going to get from the doctor? That you looking out for yourself, eating right, diet, nutrition.
But these are the excuses that people have to fuel
Right.
why their experience was so bad.
But it's a logic flaw. I didn't get insurance, so I'm in this position in the first place. It's like,
Or the truth
first step is to put yourself in that
the truth
position.
couldn't provide me with insurance, and that it's a blame. It's an
And
accusation.
that's why I got to go in the world and get this insurance.
Yeah,
Accusation.
it's an accusation. I gotta have an accusation to justify my departure from the truth.
Yep.
So men will use a faulty judgment to dictate and determine why they're not
use
around.
every resource they can that's provided to them. If it's about insurance, let me eat right. If it's about familial insurance, let me sit back and use all my resources first before I sit back here and resort to an outside source of insurance. Or whatever you want. I'm only bringing up insurance for that. I always bring up other things. But everybody got a reason why not to submit and serve. But the truth is, you didn't work on what's inside of you and fix what's inside of you with the resources the Lord provided.
You still had bad eating habits.
Yes.
But now the camp is to blame.
Con.
Now Christ is to blame because you never fix your eating habits.
Mm-hmm.
Now your body's breaking down and you blame the camp and you blame the
Mhm.
Most High, and this is why you don't come around.
Con. Brothers will sit back here and blame the camp for their relationships breaking up and not realize that you were a bad counselor. You couldn't control your anger. You put your hands on her too many times. You didn't listen to counsel on how to sit back and keep your home in order.
Too emotional.
You're too emotional. This is why you lost. You want to sit back and say, I didn't have enough time. Well, when you don't have enough time and your conditions are such where you don't have time, then you got to be that much more patient with her blow-ups. You got to be a better listener when she snaps because she's stressed out. But because, you know me, when women raise her voice, I can't handle that. Well, shit, that's your problem. I've heard that. You've heard that.
Yeah.
When she starts talking to you out of her mouth, I got to sit back and do something about it. No, you don't. That's your choice. That's your choice. So you want to blame the conditions on the camp versus dealing with the fact that you're reacting you're reacting a negative way based on the pressure of your condition. The camp forced me into alcoholism. No, you chose alcoholism. You know how many men became alcoholics in the truth? But they want to blame the program? No, your lack of ability to handle stress is why you chose alcoholism.
And that's why the Most High say my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
But they want to blame the condition, the program, for these reactions.
But I didn't have the right knowledge to fix my situation.
Bro, I'm going to say this. For every bad example you see a good example. The scripture says, choose ye this day life or death. The problem is, when you're in a spiritual battle, even for young people that are in high school and earlier levels of school, you're going to see a lot of bad examples and you're going to see a couple of good ones. Do you choose the small couple of good examples, or do you choose the low-hanging fruit of the negative examples?
It said, wide is the path to destruction.
This is the reality in all things in life. Even in a camp, you're going to see a lot of people getting weak in an arena. That's low-hanging fruit. That's easy. Or you're going to choose the one or two people that are kind of different, and they're more disciplined, and they're more committed. Do I choose that way or the convenient, easy way? Every one of us has that option. And that's the truth. But we want to mask our weaknesses and fallibilities because of these easy, weak elements that are around me. Or life ain't about seeing and experiencing weakness and strength and choosing the strength.
Or I want to acknowledge that I chose this other brother's. I chose to pattern myself after this brother in the truth because it looked like that brother was having more fun.
Mm-hmm.
But this other brother that didn't want to hang out on the weekends, or that brother that studied all the time, I didn't really gravitate to that brother's lifestyle
because I don't like to study.
Because I don't like to study.
Or the brother that sits back here and can enjoy his work ethic and doesn't complain about work. I don't hang out with the person who commits himself to work. I hang out with the guy that complains about work.
Yep.
And I wonder why I complain about work. It's that simple. Who you commit yourself around and be around, that's how you're going to think.
It's going to shape your judgment.
And don't get mad about your experience when you make the wrong choice of who to follow.
Yep.
That's not the camp's fault. That's your fault.
Bad discretion.
And that is the truth. about each and every one of us.
Because a lot of us live a lie.
Women sit back here and say all the men are bad. Well, when you choose thugs and you have a proclivity for thugs, guess what's going to happen? Thugs just going to happen to you. You're going to have the thug fun,
Thugs happen.
and you're going to have the thug instability. There's thug fun and there's thug chaos. It's both. You can't just have the thug fun, the spontaneous fun. That's fun. But that same spontaneous guy is spontaneous all the time. He can't keep a job. He's not the same guy every day. For the same thing that attracted you about this thug, he's just so fun.
He got time.
We can just go roll out for the weekend. That's cool. But that weekend, nigga, excuse me, guys. But that weekend, dude, he's unstable Monday through Friday too. He's unstable on Monday through Friday. He's fun on the week. He's always unstable. He's always spontaneous, and that's not good for being a husband.
And he got your car. And he
drinking, having fun, chilling. Listen, you was the fun thing this week. Now you're gonna find something else fun next week.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
the truth.
It's not fair.
Well, you chose the spontaneous fun guy. This is the consequence. Don't blame him. But then the guy that's stable, he's not funny. He's boring.
He's boring.
Well, then guess what?
Predictable.
Which one do you want? Do you want stability? You want a person that's going to be a good father? Because a good father is the same guy every day. A good father's boring.
Or you don't
The
pay
good
attention.
dad is boring.
You don't pay attention to me enough.
The good dad is boring, and the guy that pays attention to you, he don't work because he's focused on you.
Yeah, he got all the time in the world.
I'm just looking at you all damn day long.
Yeah, what you doing?
Listen, I'm on the phone all day long. I kicking my feet up and stuff.
Yeah.
You ain't getting that, and you're not going to get that, and a guy that goes to work and is trying to build for his family.
Yeah.
Because a good father goes to work and deals with his kids.
Yep.
So you ain't getting the attention.
It
But
ain't
you
about
want it all.
you. It ain't
You want the super guy that gives you attention, the hard worker, the family person. He cleans up at the house. He loves the children. But you're not all of those things. How about that? Are you the person who works hard at the job, comes home a super cleaner, comes home a perfect mother, and is ready to serve him at night?
And be
Do
obedient.
you do all those things without complaints? But you want him to do all those things. He got to do 5 to 7 things. You ever see those memes where the husband got to be these 30 things, and she don't got to do shit but smile and have an attitude out? Listen, that's the world. That's the expectation the world provides. Can you accept that out of this 30 resume thing of expectation, he might give you a good 10, and that's a good deal? Because that's what we gotta do when we deal with women. You gotta know what you got. And you appreciate what you got. It ain't gonna be everything. I get this. Okay, I get this. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm not getting that. And okay, I'll accept this. That's humility. Like I said, I don't even know how we got to this point now.
The truth?
Yeah.
Right.
The truth. Thank you. It's the truth.
Accepting no person.
Thank you. Huh?
Accepting no person.
It's accepting the reality and the truth about each and every one of us in our situation, and that's the strongest thing. That always perseveres regardless of your opinion. Because the problem with us is we don't have proper evaluation of who we are anyway. So we're living in a lie. Just because you're living in a lie doesn't mean that the truth still doesn't prevail. You just can't see it until the end. You'll know at the end that the truth prevailed. So lie all you want for the 50, 60, 70 years of your life that you got on earth. But at the end, truth still reigns. And that's the scary thing. People will sit back and live 70 years lying their ass off to themselves and think that they did enough. Think that they committed enough. Until the Father says, listen, leave me, I never knew you. And when you get that word, you ain't going to like that. Well, Christ said, I never knew you. You got something else? Just keep going.
No, go ahead.
Let's continue.
Verse 39. With her there is no accepting of persons or rewards.
Because you can't cheat the truth. You can't bribe the truth. You can lie about your reality, but the Most High sees you what you are. You are what your record shows. If I have a pattern of being selfish, then guess what? I'm selfish. If I have a pattern of letting my lust control me, then guess what? My lust dominates me.
Right.
If I'm selfish, I'm selfish. If I have a negative outlook and I can't control impure thoughts, that's what I am. That's what you are. And you can't bribe that reality about you. If you're overly emotional, that's what you are. Are you going to fix it or not? Read on.
But she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things.
So, and the truth is this. If you're about truth, you'll change. If you're not about truth, you're not going to change. You can talk I've been around brothers for years, talking about what they're going to do. I'm doing this. I'm about to do this. I'm about to make these changes. I'm about to go to this city and build here. I'm about to do all these special things in this other city. I'm about to sit back and make these changes myself. And you look up 5 years later, they ain't done nothing. You are what you are. You can talk all you want. You can hype it up. You can misdirect here. You can say things. You can do smoke bombs, all these magician trips. You can do what you want. But your actions show who you are. Your decisions, your conduct shows you what you are and who you are. And you can't bribe that. You can't hustle that. You can't BS that. And even if you BS certain people, the Spirit of truth, Christ knows what you are. And when everything's said and done, you're going to be evaluated on that. Read on.
And all men do well like of her works.
Mm-hmm.
Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness. And she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the power of truth.
Because truth is the most high. Truth is the word. Truth is the Spirit. And that can't be faked. And even if foolish people might buy into your malarkey, the Spirit don't. Christ don't. And we're going to be judged ultimately on the truth that we've about ourselves and how hard we've given ourselves to break it, to break those things in us.
We can fool men. We can't fool God.
God, that's the point. And we're all on the hook for doubling our burdens and our responsibilities
For others.
for others.
I thought my burdens for
We
me.
can go all around it. We can go all around the world about all opinions. The truth is, we have burdens. We have to double our burdens for our people, double our responsibilities for our people. And in the midst of doubling those burdens, things leak out.
And that's
Negative leaks out. Wickedness leaks out.
and you still
And can you fix that while carrying these burdens? Because you can't carry these burdens unless you're at peace with your burden.
the ill comes out when you're in the midst of service.
Con.
Because listen, the only need for a stress relief.
Why does a person need alcohol when they're serving God? Because I don't look at serving God as serving God. I look at it as a burden.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting back here making houses all damn day long. If brothers, they got to sit back here and drink 18 damn beers throughout the day, they look at their job as a burden. But we look at serving the Most High as a burden. That's why we need the flesh and alcohol and fun to offset what I don't think to offset my unhappiness.
I remember when a brother told me a long time ago, and I was just young in the truth. He was premature in the truth. He said, man, all I do, I just do my job to go home. And you know what?
It's not good, bro.
And I'm like, I'm young, so I don't know how to look at this. I'm like,
I know that. Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be here.
I'm just going to go home so I can go home. I'm going to go to work so I can go home and go
I
sleep.
do my job so I can go home. He had a simple life. But his perspective wasn't my father.
He was unhappy. Because that's hell for a person. I'm just living to die. I'm just going to sit back and do this work and go home. Sigh. Go back to go to work again. And then do it again.
That means he wasn't fulfilled in what he does for the Lord.
Point. That means you don't love God. We can go all around in circles. You don't love God because what does God represent? Listen, did Christ get a chance to say, man, I don't like going hanging out with these publicans and sinners. I don't like dealing with these winos.
I'm done with these dudes.
This isn't fulfilling to me. Did Christ say that?
Couldn't.
Because that's not the right thing to do. I don't really like dealing with these guys with these lepers. And these guys that got demons on them. Niggas legion. Every week is another legion.
No problem.
This ain't fun. Can I relax and enjoy myself?
Kyle mentioned it last night. Does the Most High take off from functioning in your heart? Punching your lung.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
This
feel
is too
I don't
much
feel like
work.
starting his heart today.
Yeah, I don't feel like it.
I gotta break that.
I got all these hearts. I don't feel it's hearts every day. There's always hearts and lungs, and stomach and intestinal systems and circulatory systems. I'm just tired of all the circulatory systems. The nervous system is vexing me. He can't do that. Why do we get the audacity to sit back here and act like this service ain't glorious in the eyes of the Heavenly Father? Serving His people isn't glorious. How dare us? That's truth. The truth is, you can lie and tell yourself you're doing enough until Christ tells you He don't know you. We can sit back here, you can not like what we say or not, but the truth is, you ain't guaranteed a slot. You can say whatever you want to tell yourself. Nobody's guaranteed a slot. One said the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So if the righteous is going to scarcely be saved, how about the half-steppers? Are half-steppers getting saved? Guys that just build cocoons in their homes, just get comfortable at their house, they going to be saved?
Excuse makers.
Excuse makers, they going to get saved? People that aren't about the truth aren't about accepting the truth about themselves? That's like the Most High said, that guy that said, man, thank the Lord I'm not like these publicans. Woo, I tithe, I'm good.
That means he studied. That means he fasted. That means his house is clean.
Yep.
That means he's organized.
Yeah.
That means his clothes are sharp.
He said, who's going to sit back here and be
Yeah.
more justified? The person who knows, who is at least aware of what they're not doing.
Mm-hmm.
At least that sinner is aware they got to change. That Pharisee wasn't even aware that he had flaws. He wasn't even conscious of his filth.
But what makes him
To sit back and say, man, that guy, I'm glad I'm not like him. I'm on point.
But here's the judge, though.
Huh.
But injustice is, I'm skillful at picking apart and critiquing others.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm inexcusable. Because how come you could be the skillful person that can methodically deflower another person when it comes to behaviors and
Break him down. The flower is a different thing.
Sorry, not
Okay.
deflower. I'm talking. You can peel the onion.
I can analyze.
I want to say it better.
Yeah.
I can peel the onion layer by layer of other people.
Yeah.
And I can point out the patches of flaws and the little schisms they got. And their schisms disgust me and they bother me.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see how my schisms, that same measure's not there when it comes to the person in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go layer by layer and
And look at
critically
myself.
analyze every aspect of how I affect other people.
And this is why it's like truth is everything that matters. This is the only thing. This surpasses everything. The pursuit of truth. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to. That's what we read every day.
Yeah.
We're pursuing truth. The truth in ourselves, our condition. We try to help enlighten others about the truth about themselves. Whether we like it or not. That's our job. We can't make men change and women change. All we can do is paint the picture to get you to see what you got to work on so you can commit yourself to it. The problem is we teach a bunch of liars. That's the problem. We teach a bunch of liars that don't want to accept what they are. And every one of us has liar in us. Anyway, let's continue.
Verse 41. And with that he held his peace. And all the people then shouted and said, Great is truth, and mighty above all things.
There's no doubt about it. That's the most powerful thing on earth, is the truth. Because that's what holds weight to our immortality.
It's the highest calling.
And,
Beyond
and it's the key to our immortality, is the acceptance of truth. That's how you get to the kingdom. I'm going to cut you off.
No, I'll just say it's greater than the pursuit of women.
Mm-hmm.
It's greater than the pursuit of resources. It's greater than the pursuit of just serving the king for our personal stability.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is where we're at. We're not going to read any more of that for now. We're going to go back to the Josephus and go into book 3. After the beginning part of chapter 2, we're going to run it to chapter 6 and then shut it down. I mean, paragraph 6. I'm sorry. So we're going to go from like the beginning. Just read paragraph 2 to 6.
I mean, book 11? Or?
I'm sorry. Book 11, chapter 3, paragraph 2 to 6.
Book 11, chapter 3, paragraph 2.
Yes, sir.
Now, in the first year of the king's reign, Darius feasted those that were about him, and those born in his house, with the rulers of the Medes, and princes of the Persians, and the toparchs of India, and Ethiopia, and the generals of the armies of his 127 provinces. But when they had eaten and drunken to satiate and abundantly, they every one departed to go to bed at their own houses. And Darius the king went to bed. But after he had rested a little part of the night, he awaked, and not being able to sleep any more, he fell into conversation with the 3 guards of his body, and promised that to him who should make an oration about points that he should inquire of, such as should be most agreeable to truth, and to the dictates of wisdom, he would grant it as a reward of his victory to put on a purple garment, and to drink in cups of gold, and to sleep upon gold, and to have a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tire of fine linen, and a chain of gold about his neck, and to sit next to himself on account of his wisdom. And, says he shall be called my cousin. Now when he had promised to give them these gifts, he asked the first of them whether wine was not the strongest, the second, whether kings were not such, and the third, whether women were not such, or whether truth was not the strongest of all.
So these were just questions that, listen, what's the answer? These are quote unquote so-called mysteries. They're not clear. Which one reigns supreme? Read.
When he had proposed that they should make their inquiries about these problems, he went to rest. But in the morning, he sent for his great men, his princes, and toparchs of Persia and Media, and set himself down in the place where he used to give audience, and bid each of the guards of his body to declare what they thought proper concerning the proposed questions in the hearing of them all. Paragraph 3. Accordingly, the first of them began to speak of the strength of wine, and demonstrated it thus. When, said he, I am to give my opinion of wine, O you men, I find that it exceeds everything by the following indications. It deceives the mind of those that drink it, and reduces that of the king to the same state with that of the orphan, and he who stands in need of a tutor, and erects that of the slave to the boldness of him that is free, and that of the needy becomes like that of the rich man.
You know, they call that liquid courage. When somebody has to use wine in order to give them confidence. And unfortunately, our people do depend on wine for confidence. I don't have enough courage to speak or to say something, but once they say alcohol makes you tell the truth. Once I start sipping a little something, then next thing you know, you start hearing things out of people's mouth that you never knew was in them.
Yeah.
But because they didn't have the courage to say it before.
Speaks a sober mind.
Yeah, say it again.
A drunk speaks a
Sober mind, yeah, because it's coming from his heart. But he didn't have the courage to say them things before, but he'll say it when that alcohol is influencing him. Go ahead.
For it changes and renews the souls of men when it gets into them.
Damn. So that's heavy, bro. But so what? So this competition is showing you that a variety of things in life can impress itself upon you, and these things that can impress. That's what competition is about. Which one of these things can impress itself upon you and have the greatest effect on your life? Whether it be wine, women, or whether it be the king. These are impressions, man. All these things are major impressions on our lives and have major effects. Go ahead.
And it quenches the sorrow of those that are under calamities, and makes men forget the debts they owe to others.
And we went to that fact about how men are dealing with calamities, personal decisions that they regret that they have to deal with, that alcohol just numbs.
Yep. Well, we know the scripture says wine was made to make men glad. So that is its purpose. But too much, too often, too frequently, we go beyond just getting the gladness that wine brings. We go into a dependence.
We be glad every day.
Yeah, we want to be happy every day. Yes, we want to be happy every day, every hour, every minute, every month. You know what I'm saying? Because wine, we use it too often because it's an artificial substitute for what's supposed to be really there. What's supposed to be really there is patience, confidence, courage,
And
zeal.
that comes from good works.
Right, satisfaction that comes from hard labor. Those are the things that are really supposed to be there. But we look at wine as an artificial substitute, just like aspartame.
Yeah.
It's a fake sugar, right?
Sugar.
It's
Fake
fake.
sugar.
It's aspartame, sucralose, all fake sugar, bro. To give you the idea of sweetness, but it's bad for
Corn
you.
sugar.
Corn
That's
syrup,
what they call it, corn sugar.
corn syrup, but high fructose corn syrup,
Yeah.
all bad forms of sugar. To give you the idea that it's sweet. It's artificial.
Yeah.
Wine is that artificial boost that people need to feel better about themselves. We don't need it to feel better about themselves, but we'll use it though. Read.
And makes them think themselves to be of all men the richest, and makes them talk of no small things, but of talents, and such other things as become wealthy men only. Nay more, and makes them insensible of their commanders and of their kings, and takes away the remembrance of their friends and companions.
What paragraph is it, sir?
Paragraph 3, line 41.
Okay.
Line 41 from the top.
Let's kind of run through this. No, let's just kind of run through it. Let's keep going.
Gotcha. For it arms men even against those that are dearest to them, and makes them appear the greatest strangers to them. Line 42. And when they are become sober, and they have slept out their wine in the night, they arise without knowing anything they have done in their cups. I take these for signs of power, and by them discover that wine is the strongest and most insupporable of all things. As soon as the first had given the aforementioned demonstrations of the strength of wine, he left off. And the next to him began to speak about the strength of a king, and demonstrated that it was the strongest of all, and more powerful than anything else that appears to have any force or wisdom. He began his demonstration after the following manner, and said, They are men who govern all things. They force the earth and the sea to become profitable to them in what they desire. And over these men do kings rule, and over them they have authority. Now those who rule over that animal which is of all the strongest and most powerful must needs deserve to be esteemed insuperable in power and force. For example, when the kings command their subjects to make wars and undergo dangers, they are hearkened to. And when they send them against their enemies, their power is so great that they are obeyed. They command men to level mountains and to pull down walls and towers. Nay, when they are commanded to be killed and to kill, they submit to it, that they may not appear to transgress the king's commands. And when they have conquered, they bring what they have gained in the war to the king. Those also who are not soldiers, but cultivate the ground and plow it, after they have endured the labor and all the inconveniences of such work of husbandry, when they have reaped and gathered in their fruits, they bring tributes to the king. And whatsoever it is, which the king says or commands, it is done of necessity, and that without any delay, while he, in the meantime, is satiated with all sorts of food and pleasures, and sleeps in quiet. He is guarded by such as watch, and such as are, as it were, fixed down to the place through fear. For no one dares leave him, even when he is asleep, nor does anyone go away and take care of his own affairs. But he esteems this one thing the only work of necessity, to guard the king, and accordingly to this he wholly addicts himself. How then can it be otherwise, but that it must appear that the king exceeds all in strength, while so great a multitude obeys his injunctions? Paragraph 5. Now when this man had held his peace, the third of them, who was Zerubbabel, began to instruct them about women, and about truth, who said thus, Wine is strong, and is the king also, whom all men obey, but women are superior to them in power. For it was a woman that brought the king into the world, and for those that plant the vines and make the wine, they are women who bear them and bring them up.
And a lot of men make this, I'm going to slow it down, but a lot of men make this on a national level, people make this the woman is God. From the womb of a woman comes life,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't give that same credit to the Most High.
Huh?
They give that credit to the woman. That's the basis behind a lot of philosophies and a lot of different belief systems.
Yep.
That was it.
Let's continue.
Nor indeed is there anything which we do not receive from them. For these women weave garments for us, and our household affairs are, by their means, taken care of and preserved in safety. Nor can we live separate from women. And when we have gotten a great deal of gold and silver and any other thing that is of great value and deserving regard, and see a beautiful woman, we leave all these things, and with open mouth fix our eyes upon her countenance, and are willing to forsake what we have, that we may enjoy her beauty and procure it to ourselves. We also leave father and mother and the earth that nourishes us, and frequently forget our dearest friends for the sake of women. Nay, we are so hardy as to lay down our lives for them. But what will chiefly make you take notice of the strength of women is this that follows. Do not we take pains and endure a great deal of trouble, and that both by land and sea. And when we have procured somewhat as the fruit of our labors, do not we bring them to the women as to our mistresses and bestow them upon them? Nay, I once saw the king who was lord of so many people smitten on the face by Optimate.
Now that what we just read, a lot of men think, unfortunately, especially Jake men, a lot of our brothers and sisters, they feel like as long as I made my wife happy, I did my job.
On earth.
And that's what I'm chosen to do, is to be a father to my kids, be a leader to my wife, go to work every day, and that's where it stops. And they feel like if I've done that, then I did my job. And that, unfortunately, is the measure of a man's purpose on earth, and it's not. But the way we've been trained and watch Grandpa work all day and drop all the money on the table, and Grandma take the money and pay all the bills, and Grandpa just go to work. That's all Grandpa do, just go to work. Grandpa just go to work, bring the money home, drop it on the table, and go to sleep. Get his food is ready, he eat, he take a bath, he go to sleep, get ready for work in the morning, and then he go to church on Sunday. We don't really see the influence of father in the house or grandpa in the house, because in his mind, in our mind, the example we got was that's what a man is supposed to do. He's just supposed to do his job. But that's not the maximum calling of a man. It's just to take care of a household and bring his hard-earned money and drop it on the table. But we have that idea that that's the definition of a man. That's what a man looks like. That's part of a man's responsibility, is to take care of a household. But that's not where the buck stops. I just want to bring that out because we've seen many examples like that. Can you continue?
Nay, I once saw the king who was lord of so many people smitten on the face by Optimate, the daughter of Rapses, Themasius, his concubine, and his diadem taken from him, and put upon her own head, while he bore it patiently. And when she smiled, he smiled. And when she was angry, he was sad. And according to the change of her passions, he flattered his wife, and drew her to reconciliation by the great humiliation of himself to her, if at any time he saw her displeased at him. Paragraph 6. And when the princes and rulers looked upon another.
You notice that very seldom does Josephus deal with a lot of spiritual angles. He deals with a lot of this logic and history-based narratives. He didn't talk anything about the truth aspect of what we just read in 1 Ezra 4. He just dealt with just the aspect about women and then their reaction. He doesn't go into the spiritual attributes of a lot of these lessons. He's not needed to do that. His job is to sit back and recollect the history as of what it is. We disseminate it from there. Okay? Let's continue.
Paragraph 6. And when the princes and rulers looked upon one another, he began to speak about truth. And he said, I've already demonstrated how powerful women are. But both these women themselves and the king himself are weaker than truth.
Mm-hmm.
For although the earth be large and the heaven high, and the course of the sun swift, yet are all these moved according to the will of the Most High, who is true and righteous. For which cause we also ought to esteem truth to be the strongest of all things, and that what is unrighteous is of no force against it. Moreover, all things else that have any strength are mortal and short-lived, but truth is a thing that is immortal and eternal. It affords us not indeed such a beauty as will wither away by time, nor such riches as may be taken away by fortune, but righteous rules and laws. It distinguishes them from injustice and puts what is unrighteous to rebuke.
And now verse 6 deals with the breakdown of the truth. Let me see. I don't want to go verse 7, paragraph 7. Because paragraph 7 lines up with 1 Ezra 4:42 to the end of the chapter, when it deals with the provincial leaders and the king ends up awarding Zerubbabel the victor of this wisdom contest, so to speak. And then what I want to use that next week and tie into the restoration of the temple. So I don't want to have to go over this back next week. We went over the breakdown of what the three attributes of what's strong. We will go into who gets the reward and what the reward was. But just so we're leaving off the first year of King Darius. The second year of King Darius is when the temple is rebuilt. So where we're at now is year 1. And we're going to go into the actual accomplishing of this next week. Okay? Are there any questions? We got that. Can y'all finish this? The prayers of working? I'm just going to stretch out.
Okay.
Israel Amajim Wapanya, Yerah Shalom.
All right. Stand and face Jerusalem. Mm-hmm.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please listen to us right now. Send Micah Allah and the righteous angels to watch over, bless, heal, protect, and make strong the people of Yashala. Also send unto us much wisdom, much knowledge, much understanding, much patience, much faith, much brotherhood, and much love, spiritual power, and forgive all of our sins. Yahweh Shai, come quickly. For in thee is our hope. Always. And forever. Amen. Rakata Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Natan Lanawa. Hatarara.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the law.
Rakata Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Natan Lanawa. Awar. Lara'a.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the light to see.
Rakata Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Natan Lanawa. Ha'ayon. Kwara. La Kwara. Ha'ain.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the ram's horn to call the people.
Rakata Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Natan Lanawa. Sheman. Zayaf. Lamashak. Yasha'Allah.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the olive oil to anoint Israel.
Psalms 92. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh.
It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh.
And to sing praises unto thy name.
And sing praise unto thy name.
O Yahweh, to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning.
To show forth thy loving kindness in the morning.
And thy faithfulness every night.
And thy faithfulness every night.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
And upon the psaltery. Upon the harp. With the solemn sound. For thou, Yahweh, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. O Yahweh, how great are thy works.
How great are thy works.
And thy thoughts are very deep.
And thy thoughts are very deep.
A brutish man knoweth not.
A brutish man knoweth not.
Neither doth the fool understand this.
Neither does the fool understand it.
When the wicked spring is the grass,
When the wicked spring is the grass,
and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish,
and when all the works of iniquity flourish,
it is that they shall be destroyed forever.
they say destroy forever.
But thou, Yahweh,
Thou Yahweh,
art most high forevermore.
art most high forevermore.
For lo, thine enemies,
For lo thy enemies,
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
for lo, thine enemies
for lo thy enemies
shall perish.
shall perish.
All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered.
All the works of iniquity shall be scattered.
But mine horn shalt thou exalt,
My horn shalt thou exalt,
like the horn of a unicorn.
the horn of a unicorn.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
Mine eye also shall see my desire
My
I also shall see my desire
on mine enemies,
on my enemies,
and mine ears
and my ears
shall hear my desire
shall hear my desire
of the wicked that rise up against me.
of the wicked that rise up against me.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree.
The righteous shall flourish like palm
He
trees.
shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon.
Shall grow like cedar in Lebanon.
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh
shall flourish in the courts of our power.
shall flourish in the courts of our power.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall be fat and flourishing,
They shall be fat and flourishing,
to show that the Lord is upright.
to show that the Lord is
He
upright.
is my rock,
He is my rock,
and there is no unrighteousness in him.
and there is no unrighteousness in him.
By Shem Yahushua. Psalms 133. Shayar, Hama Iowa, Ladawad, Hana, Ma, Tawa, Wama, Naayam, Shabbat, Akim, Gam, Yachad, Hashaman, Hatawa, Io, Haraash, Yerad, Io, Hazakwan, Zakwan, Aran, Shayarad, Io, Paya, Marawathua, Katol, Karamwan, Shayarad, Io, Haroria, Tazawan, Kaya, Sham, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ath, Habaraka, Kayayim, I, Hawalam. Bashem Yahushua.
Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. And it's like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life evermore. Amen.
Amen. Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Raklanawa, Washiala, Wahabiyat, Saporium. 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 Turn. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahushua. The water Yahweh. The water Yahushua. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahushua. The water Yahweh. The water Yahushua. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahushua. The water Yahweh. The water Yahushua. All love, all mercy, all truth, all wisdom, all knowledge, all understanding, all praise, all might, all fear, all joy, all love, all mercy, all patience, all power is from Yahweh. All power is from Yahweh. All power is from Yahweh. In Yahweh's name we pray. The water, Damyad, Aman. Men circle up, so let's have a seat.
Who has it?
You got it?
Saluting out in the heavenly order, Yahweh, Wah, Yahushai, Wah, Kal, Yasha'al, Man of Israel, Amad, Barak,
Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Barakatah.
Kwam Yashala,
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala,
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala,
Kwam Yashala.
Rainbow Shabbat, Translation, Susi, Saluting out the daughters of Zion, Saluting out the daughters of Zion, Man of Israel, Amad, Barak,
Yahweh, Shema, Amadan, Bashem, Yahushua. Yajimachab, dismiss, fall out. All right, Shalom Israel, the water for watching. We got class again coming back on Monday. And Shabbat Shalom to everybody online. Good to see everybody, and I hope everybody's doing well. And we'll see you soon. Shalom.
On the back